There we go. Now I'm unmuted. Welcome, everybody, to Late Night Top Cut. My name is Nate. I'm here with a fresh face, Dario. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here and seeing some more Pokemon. We took a little break. The holidays are over. It's nice to be back and in the swing of things.
New year, new season, right? I believe this is the first tournament of the season for the late night.
Something like that. I'm not actually sure, so we can look into it. But
Yeah, we're already starting. I don't even know what I'm saying, but regardless, new year and new tournaments, same old Drago meta, but this meta for the top 16 is actually not filled with Drago. It's pretty interesting meta spread. We have the first seed Je ne mange pas de porc on the Zard Pidgeot. We got some Cloth, Arcaludon, everyone's favorite Lost Box, Terapagos even. We've even got a Regigigas Ancient Wisdom deck, so it's gonna be a spicy top 16. We've got good matchups and a lot of variety, so I'm pretty happy to see this.
I'm excited to see those two bridges, two Archaludon decks. I saw them early in the tournament doing pretty well, and they both made it into the top cut. So
yeah, one of them not playing the Dialga, the other one was sticking with the more standard 2/2 Dialga, like we've seen win the Japanese Champions League that just finished recently. So pretty interesting. I think that deck is one that this week, especially online, has been getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are hyping it up for San Antonio, for Birmingham, the two regionals that are going to come up soon.
Speaking of that first seed, though, we actually have our first match, so we're going to hop into that real quick. We do have Charizard Pidgeot up against Regidrago.
Ooh, perfect. This is a matchup that I know very, very well. If you're a Charizard player, you have to know this matchup very well. It's considered to be one of your hardest. This is kind of like the dark horse that keeps Zard in check. Although I think the matchup is really not that bad. The key cards you want to look for here are going to be the Defiance Band, the Radzard, and I'm sure that is what our player here is looking for. Basically, Radiant Charizard's your main attacker in this matchup. You want to use him as early as possible to try to force the Regidrago opponent to not be able to take two prizes every single turn.
Yeah, if you can get ahead in the prize trade there, it's a huge swing, and you really need to do well in this matchup.
The player going first also has a huge advantage. Mostly if Regidrago is able to go first, as he already did, it makes the Charizard player a little scared to bench this Pidgey and this Duskull, just because if the Regidrago is able to get the turn 2 Phantom Dive, it can be pretty scary, and you can kind of get run off the board. We'll see if he has it though, starting off the turn with a Teal Dance. Looked like his turn 1 was pretty good, already 2 energies on the Regidrago, so all he needs here is a Dragon in the discard, a V-Star, and a Grass Energy. Doesn't seem too hard. Let's see what the research hits.
Research
Nothing
away
great.
2 researches. Ooh.
That's honestly, if I'm the Zard player, I am glad to see that, because that means my unfair stamp is going to hit hard.
Yeah, no dragons in the discard, like you were saying. The initial setup seemed pretty good to have the E-switch already onto the Drago, so it's getting ready for the V-Star, but it seems like we're maybe just going into Cleffa this turn.
Grasping Draw here, not bad at all, especially because Charizard's cap right now is 180 damage. Of course, he does have the Duskull down turn 1, so he can get Dusclops, but this is a pretty tough combo to hit everything, plus a counter catcher to be able to get your big combo, and the Jamming Tower is huge, turning off the Forest Sealstone.
I'm going to make it that much harder to hit all the pieces we need. We do see that we have Arven for at least the first rare candy.
Yeah,
and Pidgeot will grab something else, but it is a good
hand. Also
hand.
have the Vacuum to get rid of the Jamming Tower. Top deck counter catcher. I think he should have it. The discards, though, for the Ultra Ball and the Vacuum are a little tough.
Yeah, you want to hold on to the energy. You want to hold on to the Defiance Band. You need the Pidgeot.
I believe this Arven grabs candy. Then you can Ultra Ball. Use one Ultra Ball for the Charizard. Pidgeot for a candy. And then use another Ultra Ball for Dusclops. What are you discarding though? Or do you play the Vacuum, use the Sealstone? This is interesting. He is able to discard the Vacuum and still have a stadium out because he does play League Headquarters, a pretty interesting card that we don't often see in Charizard.
I've heard some rumblings of players thinking about this card for upcoming regionals. I'm
What do
interested
you
to see
think
how it
it's?
does.
Yeah, what do you
Um,
think it's mostly there for?
Certainly shutting down these turbo aggressive decks a little bit. It is nice to have stadiums just to bump other stadiums in times. So there's kind of like a sine wave of people including and removing cards like this.
Yeah, I do think Stadium Wars are pretty important right now, especially with Cloth running around. You kind of want that Area Zero to not just sit and play the whole game, right?
Mm-hmm. Here was the quick search for the second rare candy, going into Charizard. We still have access to the vacuum if we want to use the Forest Seal Stone, but
Opts to grab 3 energies. Gonna put one on the Charmander preemptively, I assume. Yep, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
so what do we grab with the Seal Stone now that the tower is gone?
Most likely Dusclops. I think Dusclops you can put 50 on anything you want. Really, doesn't really matter because you can put it on the Regidrago actually and counter catcher it, hit it for 210,
Mm-hmm.
getting the knockout, and then as long as you're able to just string back-to-back attacks, you should just be able to win this game relatively easily. The thing is here, the Mr. Zard player does not have a great follow-up after this.
Yeah, it's going to use up almost every card in their hand. And be left with
Yep.
just the Defiance Band. But that's what you have Pidgeot for, right? You just get whatever card you want every turn.
He does play a research, which is amazing in this scenario, just to be able to fill up your hand, get a new hand basically. But off the research, he's gonna just need to hit raw candy Zard. So it's gonna be a little tricky. He hasn't I don't believe he's played a nest ball though, so he does have 2 outs to Fez, assuming the Regidrago player takes a knockout, so the odds are decent. Now, if you're the Drago player, what are you trying to do this turn?
You need to do a lot because we don't have anything in the discard. We don't have another Regidrago V set up, so I'm not quite sure what they can do. We are able to flip the script to draw some more cards, but you need to get a lot here.
Yeah, you do have the easy KO with just if you got 3 grass energies and an E-switch, you do have the KO, but kind of taking this 2-2-2 trade back and forth, not really a great position once you've lost the first 2. Maybe you just gotta pray that the Zard player's hand isn't great and he's not able to get a follow-up attack. Buy yourself some turns, maybe.
That's the
I think
E-switch, so
I think we are going for the knockout. Importantly, though, top deck or not, sorry, not top deck. Prize taken was Luminion, so he did have Luminion for Arvin to get the combo. He's gonna get Iono though into an Arvin, and that should be the combo. So he's able to string attacks together.
yeah, it feels nice that you are able to knock out the one Charizard, but with that Charmander ready to go and a Pidgeot to search out any card you want, seems likely that we can get another follow-up Charizard, and then that's even harder to knock out the next turn.
The only question here, if I'm playing Zard, is do I have the fire energies? Only 5 fires in this list, which we do see is the standard amount nowadays. 3 on board, not sure if any were prized, or I think 1 was discarded from the last turn.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, this next turn should be relatively simple, as I think we are going to see the Regidrago player just retreat into this Ogre Pond. He's going to Vessel away the Executor. Not super impactful in this matchup, but something to keep in mind as that Rotom is on the board. So that's just a way for Regidrago to take a 2-prize knockout without necessarily needing Gust if the Radzar is active.
Yeah, or needing the right amount of damage to, like, you need a Giratina to take out the Pidgeot or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Pidgeot send up, of course. Top deck Fez. That is very, very good.
One of the more fake Ionos we've ever seen.
Honestly, if I'm the Zard here, I am pretty happy with this Iono. My hand is definitely better now than it was before. That was definitely an Iono where it's like I don't want to, but like he probably needed to play the game
Yeah, I think they
from
needed
the retreat.
to find the third grass.
We're researching all of it away. We're taking the gamble. Does he need the? No, he didn't need the rod. He had a fire energy. I guess he took the gamble that sure I'm gonna hit into either a Zard out or a Candy out, opting to not use the Arvin. Guess it makes sense.
It ended up working.
Yeah, it ended up working.
But
It's a bit scary, but
yeah.
I guess your outs were pretty good. I think what he was hoping for here is just to be able to bench Radzard so that this Infernal Rain can get a fire energy onto it to basically guarantee um, that you have attack next turn. If it's down, you just promote the Radzard, and then all you got to do is quick search boss for the game. Not quite there yet. So this game is not guaranteed. If the Regidrago player can knock out this Zard, it can get a little tricky to get this final kill.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, he does. Radzard will kill basically whatever is in the active, as long as it's not a Drago V-Star, but Drago V-Star can't kill anything. Or, sorry, can't kill Zardiax. He can only kill some bench Pokemon. So, still a pretty good scenario. Nest Ball off the prizes is very good to get that Radzard out.
There's the Giratina into the discard, and we finally are going to see a Regidrago V-Star for the first time this game. But we've already used 2 energy switches. There's lots of energy in the discard. Okay, it's going for an Ogerpon instead.
That makes sense. If he wants to take his KO, he's going to need 2 Ogerpons, one to E-switch the grass energy from, and then obviously one to attack with. We're attaching the fire with on the Regidrago though, so maybe opting to not go for a Myriad Leaf Shower this turn.
Yeah, what do you think of this attachment instead of the Radiant Charizard, which we are expecting to maybe matter in this matchup?
Yeah, I don't know. I think here attacking with Radzard kind of just loses you the game because it just one quick search boss away, right? And even counter catcher. So I think we've only gotten 1 counter catcher in the discard, so it's the Regidrago player can't play around like all of his gust being prized or anything. So I do think you have to maybe attack with. I don't know. This is just a tough scenario.
Yeah.
I think I would have just tried to just take the KO on the Zard and hope that he's not able to get the Radzard. But he does have 6 cards in hand plus the Fez. Keep in mind, we do need to recycle a fire energy though. So the Zard player does not have game in hand.
And we still have the V-Star power from our Regidrago player to perhaps get the second energy switch they need to attack.
Yeah, maybe an energy switch and an Iono could be really powerful here.
Has
There's
the
the
Iono
Iono.
anyway.
But if we're not KOing this Charizard, I don't think it really matters just because Je ne mange pas de porc has the Pidgeot in hand, or sorry, on the board, just able to quick search a boss for game anyways. So I don't love this play here. And Iono did give 2 pretty, well, 1 decent card
Yeah.
in that ace spec, the unfair stamp. So even if the Regidrago player here manages to get a kill, we're seeing 5 fresh cards before we're even quick searching. So the odds again are pretty decent.
There's our second or the fourth E switch rather. But not even needing the V-Star power yet. We might not see it this game even.
Oh wait, maybe we're going. No, I was gonna say maybe we're going for a Gust 280 on the Pidgeot, but if you do that, Zard just promote attack. Seeing the V-Star get ripped.
I don't know if there's anything we can do here as the Drago player.
Trying to see. I'm gonna pull up his list. Is he playing Halucha? I don't think Halucha matters in this scenario. We can go for prime up the Rotom, egg, kill Fez on the bench, but then you have quick search Turo.
Yeah, the early
That's the
turns from the Charizard were just so efficient. They hit everything when they needed to. And so they
it's
still have so many
just
resources left.
quick search is just a crazy ability, just able to basically choose the exact card you need to win the game at all times. And I'm pretty sure this turn is very, very simple if you're the Zard player here. Just going to be quick search boss, and it should be the game as we see a Phantom Dive putting 6 damage counters on the Rotom. Yep, immediately just going into that quick search.
Boss's
Grab the
orders.
boss. I believe is the top 16 all best of 3.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We have at least another game where the Drago player can go first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is untimed. Okay, because I was gonna say maybe if I'm the Drago player here, I would have scooped earlier, but I guess there's no point since we can by not taking the KO there. There's a possibility that both of the Zard players' last 2 prizes are boss. That's a win con.
Mm-hmm.
And since we don't have a time limit, I respect it. Play it out. But we are going to see most likely Regidrago starting the game here. Hopefully, if he's able to get a turn to attack, gonna have a much, much better time.
At least get something in the discard for that second turn. We had no dragons last game.
No dragons and no V-Star.
And the matchup really can flip so much depending on these early turns.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a question of like who is going to have it all. If the Zard player has that Dusclops and has the Candy Pidgeot and the Candy Zard, able to establish multiple Charizard EX back to back like we saw in this game, it can get really tough for the Drago in the late game. But again, on the flip side, if the Drago's just able to get Phantom Dive, not use his V-Star, kill all your Pidgeys, the Zard doesn't really have much to play with, right?
Another great opening hand from our Charizard player.
Ooh, starting Radzard as Regidrago, not the best
Yikes.
starter in your deck, of course.
Big retreat, hard to get it out of the active to start attacking with anything else. Really want it to be later on in the game rather than right now.
Yeah, we're not trying to commit 5 energies to this to kill a Charmander, are we?
See what else we can get set up on this first turn.
Ultra Balling away an Iono and a boss. That tells me this hand is amazing, or it's garbage and it's getting squawked. But if we have an Iono, I don't think it's getting squawked. Also, as the Regidrago player, I would try to avoid benching Squawk. Because instead of the Zard player just needing to Dusclops, he has a target to take a 2-prize KO with without needing to buff his damage. Nope, it's going to be a Regidrago V.
What are these other 4 cards that we're throwing away, those important supporters?
It's got to be like some E-Switch, maybe?
Manually attach a grass and pass. Ooh.
I mean, for sure he has at least an Iono or a Research in hand.
Yeah.
That is almost guaranteed. You don't Ultra Ball away an Iono without having a good hand. Poffin, first deck search. We know the Radzard's not prized because it is in hand.
Our Charizard player was also checking the discard and wondering what is left in the hand there, looking at those, the boss and Iono discarded. This is a very shiny Charizard deck also.
Oh, it is. I love those Plasma Freeze Ultra Balls. Don't have them in real life, but they're much, much cheaper in live.
There was
speaking of which,
the Ultra Ball tier list going around recently.
Oh, 100% this is S tier, but it's just... Is it like $500 worth?
Probably not.
When I can get one for like 5 cents? An Ultra Ball, that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did see him Ultra Ball away a Super Rod, and I missed the other card, but okay, this hand, it does make sense why he wasn't just discarding the Rod. We do get the V-Star, and I'm guessing that last card is Research. It has to be, right?
Or I
Or
don't know.
Iono.
Close to it, yep.
Pretty good Iono, as the instant charge gave the Zard player Candy and Ultra Ball. Here we do see Candy and Pidgeot get grabbed, but
Probably
still that is
better.
not. He is missing another piece. Oh, we're ripping the Legacy Star though.
Early
I don't know how
this
much I
time.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Ripping the Legacy Star early just means that Unfair Stamp is very, very effective. Although if we do get a Trifrost here, we do have the Kyurem in the discard. If we're able to get a Trifrost, Je ne mange pas de balls hand is not great to respond to it. Usually, you kind of want a Thornton, you want an Unfair Stamp to be able to answer back. He can Candy Pidgeot, but surely that Pidgeot's going to go down to the Trifrost.
We'll see if our Drago player can get there. We still need to get the Radiant Charizard out of the active. It'll probably be a prime catcher, but
it was Vessel and Rod grabbed back off of the V-Star. So no prime, no switch yet. I'm assuming it's in hand, or maybe the Drago got a little greedy trying to hit it off of the V-Star.
2 Teal Dances into a hard think here. Serendipity doesn't help yet.
Is this just going to be a pass?
Yeah.
It is. What a wasted opportunity. Now we see, thankfully for Regidrago, this hand's not great. You have the Candy Pidgeot, so you get to evolve your Pidgey, make it a little bit harder to KO. But you don't have much else.
Yeah, these 2 Charmanders are still susceptible to a Trifrost.
Is this just a quick search Iono maybe? Maybe grab a Charmeleon and instant charge? There's a few ways that this can go. Looking through the deck, wondering. I mean, actually, he does have combo. Because he can quick search for an Arven for Candy, Sealstone for Zard. But I don't think KOing this Radzard is really going to help you. Taking the 1 isn't great. This is way too good of a board to get a follow-up if you're the Regidrago player. We do see him eyeing up those 2 cards that I mentioned.
That might be the play. I guess they're worried about taking a turn off with the V-Star this close to being active on the other side.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be aggressive here or if he's going to evolve the benched one and just pass. No, I think we're going for the aggressive play.
Full 3 fire again.
This, I honestly don't hate this though, because we have that second card in hand, that oh so powerful Briar. So he is taking a 1 now. If he takes a 2 after and is able to Briar take 3, we can see a win. So this isn't an awful play. I do like this. But of course, if I'm the Regidrago player here, I'm trying to take 3 prizes, go on odd, just to force that Briar play out of the game, try to target down those Duskulls.
It's kind of a funny game that they have to play between these two, since the Duskull or the Dusclops and Dust Noir can change that math a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Put you back on even just to be able to get use out of the Briar. Such a crazy combo that Zard is able to string together because of that quick search.
Another Teal Dance. We have a lot of grass energy on the field here. We could see another Myriad Leaf Shower. Possibility.
I think what I'd like to see here is maybe taking a 3 with, if you're able to gust up the Rotom and Phantom Dive away the Duskull. Go to 3. Probably want to set up another Drago as well. Maybe we could even...
Do we have a Dragapult in the discard? I haven't been keeping the best track yet.
I think it's only Egg and Kyurem. I could be wrong.
There's
Vessling
Giratina.
away at Tina. Yep. That is another option as well. Killing the Pidgeot is really going to hurt, especially if the following turn you're able to combine that with an Iono, and you're forcing the Zard without much of an engine to find Candy, Zard, and Briar. Couldn't get tricky. I think we're just going to see an E-switch to the active. Yep. Oh, Goodra is also an option here. I don't love it, since you do just have Quick Search Boss at all times to play around the Goodra. I don't think we're going to see a Goodra here. This is a tricky scenario, though, because if he doesn't have Gust, none of these dragons really do much.
Mm-hmm. Getting damage onto the Charizard isn't the like worst case scenario, but it's not exactly what you want either.
Yeah, I think you just fall too far behind. Oh, and I just noticed he is down 2 boss already in the discard that he had to discard through those
Yeah,
through
the
that
turn one Ultra Ball was one.
exactly, and I think another one off the Legacy Star. So that is something that if I'm the Drago player, or sorry, if I'm the Zard player, I am keeping track of, because this is going to be hard. My bench Pokemon are basically safe. Just got one Prime Catcher and that's it.
It
So we
was
do
the
see the
Goodra, the Rolling Iron, 200 damage.
Radzard is a pretty good top deck here, able to advance your board a little bit. So now this is where it gets a little tricky, because do you want to quick search for the boss, keep your aggression, or do you kind of want to play this slow game where you just kind of want to build up your board a little bit, maybe quick search a Charmeleon to be able to get your next Zard up easier? We bench the Radzard, so we are bench locking ourselves out of Fez.
Here comes the quick search. We'll see what the direction they're taking with the turn is.
Thinking about it, not sure. Flipping through the deck, we're going to see a Candy. We could also go Candy Dusknoir. Is another option, just KO straight through the Goodra. That's not an option that I was considering.
Will it be enough?
130.
It's 80 less, right?
It should be, because you go 130, now you're doing 210. So you're doing...
I think it's not
Man,
quite enough.
Oh, wait, I think you're right.
And we can't counter catch her.
Yeah, because you're doing 130. It is not enough. Ooh.
Yikes.
I think he just realized. He clicked on that Zard and gave it a long thought. Yeah, I mean, now you kind of got to commit. You got to smack it. This is kind of the worst outcome, right? Because I started this turn by saying either you can play defensively and build up your board and just two-shot this Drago, or go for the boss and risk maybe whiffing an attack the following turn. Now we did neither, so our board's not really advanced. This Drago hasn't gone down. We gave an extra prize, which isn't great here because you're always kind of giving an option for a 3-prize turn. Actually, not now that the Duskull's down. If he played Hawlucha, then yes, but no Hawlucha in this list, so no chance to kill this Charmander and the Rotom for 3 prizes.
Although I don't know if you would want to take 3 prizes because of the Briar, because that puts you at 2.
Yeah, you would want to take 2 this turn and then the 3.
But we do need to find the Dragapult also. That is step 1, usually.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I don't love, that V-Star getting ripped early, just making your options late game a lot harder, or making your plays a lot harder, limiting your options.
Earthen Vessel
No
for no
Mew is...
energy.
Yeah, no Mew on board. Fez not activated because we did not take a KO. So I think
Maybe
we're
another
probably
Goodra here
see...
for the knockout.
Yeah, Goodra, or... No, I don't really like any of the other options.
I think you take the 2 prizes. Perhaps the Dragapult is prized, and that's why it's hiding.
Maybe contemplating some Kira math? I don't...
Okay, it is.
Oh! What it's going to be is going to be maybe knocking out the Charmander, putting Rotom in range of another Kyurem. Or
There's
if
only one
Dragapult.
prize this turn.
I think he just didn't want to go for the Gudra because like your Drago, the -80 doesn't really ever matter.
Okay, now the Charizard is damage counters away, so a Phantom Dive could knock out 4 prizes.
Yeah, so as well as just another Kyurem. So if I'm actually, I really like this play from the Drago player because this is really tricky. Now, as long as he's able to set up another Drago, Kyurem should win the game here. But we do have the option of Turo. We can always just Turo up the Rotom. I think that would be the best line because it means you don't immediately lose. But again, if we're spending our quick search on Turo, is our board going to be able to sustain more attacks? We're counter catching the Fez. I like that a lot. What's going to be the quick search here?
The Drago player does need to find kind of a lot to set up another attack, though.
Yeah, we are seeing counter catcher Iono knock out the Fez. So no Taro is going to be played. Collapsed, of course, not in this list. Opting for the league headquarters instead.
2 energy switches in the discard. We've already used our V-Star power as the Drago.
And was it game 1 or was it this game where the Zards where the researches were discarded early?
That was the first game.
The first game? Okay. I think we still have a decent amount of supporters. We don't have Gust, but all we need is to just set up an attack.
Here's the knockout on the Pheasantipity. Charizard player still needing to take 3 prizes. It's 2 big knockouts. There's a tiny bit of time.
Yeah. Also, if this Zard just gets knocked out, we're not able to get Briar this turn because we don't have a Terra Pokemon to take that knockout. So it is going to be 2 KOs if the Drago knocks out this Zard, or even if he waits. If he waits, I think he's safe. Not necessarily, because you can Thornton Duskull.
A very small deck on the Drago player's side.
14 cards. We see the Nest Ball getting that Mew EX. Restart does say draw up to 3 cards. Right now, he's got 4. So we need a way to thin out this hand to be able to see some new cards. Do see another Nest Ball.
What's our energy count in this Drago? It's 7-2.
7-2. One fire in the discard.
There's
one
one
in
grass
hand.
somewhere around.
I wonder about this promote though. Oh, we see the prime. Priming up the Rotom. Going into the free retreat Cleffa. I think he's gonna restart, see if he can somehow hit it. If not, we're just going into a grasping draw.
With the Rotom inactive, this now needs the Dragapult rather than Kyurem.
That is true, that Terra. That's a very good point.
Can't be damaged by attacks when they're on the bench. Something that doesn't come up very often, but I think will start to happen more and more often as we move past rotation and more Terras exist.
Sure. Dude, I always forget about that on the evolved Terra Pokemon.
Yeah.
I never forget about with like Terrapagos and Ogerpon because it's kind of like in your face, right? That they're Terra, especially Terrapagos. I mean, his name is Terrapagos.
In the name, yeah.
We do see the grasping draw, so it's a little scary if you're both players here. Because you can get punished here for just using the grasping draw, but if you don't get Ionoed or nothing happens, you are susceptible to a lot of plays from this Drago. 7 fresh cards in hand. We do see the Turo up on the Rotom. I really like that. This makes it much harder for the Drago to win, now needing 2 turns. And even if we just KO this this Cleffa, we just win in 1 more attack.
Mm-hmm. It shuts off the ability for the Drago player to win on a single turn.
Mm-hmm.
We are still kind of running low on attackers for Charizard here. We get the Pheasantipity. There wasn't a knockout, so we don't draw cards yet.
Contemplating the fire attachment just to be able to have that pivot on the board, but the question is, do I need this fire to attach to the Radzard ever? I think no. I think you're good to just attach it to the Fez. Oh, he's listening. I think you're good to attach it to the Fez because if they ever take a KO,
Gonna be 2.
yeah, if they ever take a KO, you just need the 1 because they go down to 3 or to 2 prizes left. Yeah, we do see the attach. So now nothing is trappable on this board. I think the question is maybe like if they boss up the Radzard, they can stall it because your Turo is down. But at that point, you can Night Stretcher, Quick Search, Night Stretcher, attach.
Finds the unfair stamp from the prizes too. That could be really influential here in these last few turns of the game.
Yeah, so this was a really interesting back and forth game, but I think somehow, some way, Zard squeezed it out. I think now your only line, again, it just comes down to Quick Search forcing game, because I think even if you're able to KO this Charizard EX, you got to do it with a Regidrago V-Star that has more than 250 HP, or else you're just going to get hit by that Combustion Blast. But you just have Quick Search Boss to be able to circumvent that.
Mm-hmm. And is there any play where we boss up the Pidgeot and Giratina it?
But then you just lose to promoting the Zard and attacking.
Right.
If he did play Hawlucha and had another Gust, there is a line where you can Hawlucha the Fez, boss it up, Phantom Dive.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we haven't seen Dragapult hit the discard. No Gust left, no Hawlucha in the list. So
this has to be it. This Ultra Ball now, certainly.
Surely it's prized. With 4 cards left in deck, you've seen, yeah, that thing is prized. And he's still digging for something. So even with that Grasping Draw, that 7-card hand, not much has been played.
I see now that the Drago player is only playing the 1 copy of Dragapult as opposed to 2, which has been common.
Yeah, I think a lot of players opted to cut one of the Dragapults just to have that more wide spread option of, having the egg, having the Gudra. Kind of more of a dragon toolbox now than the kind of Phantom Dive Lost Impact bot it once was.
Certainly wish we had it on a few turns ago in this game.
Yeah, could have had game a few turns ago, but I think now it's looking pretty bad.
Wonder if we're getting too over-engineered with our lists here. We are able to attack with the fresh Regidrago V-Star here. Get a knockout on the Charizard, but then what else?
Yep, Gudra, sadly not affecting all of your Pokemon, only this Regidrago V-Star in the active. So should just be Combustion Blast plus Boss. Defines Band even for good measure. Not gonna need it, just gonna retreat. And that should be a 2-0. Yep, I was just waiting for him to click Combustion Blast. I don't know, there's some funky stuff. Maybe he accidentally retreated into the Fez. Maybe live bugs.
Yeah, always a chance.
But no, we do see Swift 2-0 in what is considered a tough matchup here for our first seed going into top cut, going to advance into top 8.
What a match to begin off. That was 2 strong Charizard matches.
Yeah, Charizard showed what it does best, just being able to set up insane checkmates at the end of the game. Just quick search. You want to stall me out, Turo? You want to stick something with a lot of HP in the active? Quick search boss. It's just pretty tough for the Regidrago there to make any sort of comeback once Zard gets set up. That's exactly what we saw. So shoutouts to Je ne mange pas de porc, a player that I see a lot actually in these online tournaments. I think I've
Hmm.
played against him too, and I've seen him on Twitter. So sure, he's a player from France, I believe. Maybe he'll be at
Yes.
Birmingham, maybe using this as practice. So good stuff to him.
It's not off. This is the EU wave, of course, but we do often
Mhm.
have a lot of US players, so it's nice to see some EU players doing well in the EU wave.
Yeah, I think actually most of the top 16 here, we've got a really diverse top 16 in terms of where they're from. We got some French, Austria, Spain, Italy, two Chinese players, Great Britain, Argentina, Japan,
It is always
Switzerland.
fun to see the spread of people.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, Pokemon, I love they of course push for this international, right? I mean, we have tournaments called internationals, but it's always amazing to see just all these players from all around
Yeah.
because it's definitely an accessible game compared to other TCGs. So you have a lot of people from kind of everywhere coming together to play a game we love, and we love to see it. Also, live runs super easily on like most computers, so
Or phones, even people playing on their phones.
that's true. The only I would be so scared to play in an online tournament on my phone because the mobile version is pretty buggy. But hey, honestly, shout outs to you if you play on your phone. Let me see what we've got
I
here
think we're
on
gonna
the.
hop back into another Charizard match back to back here.
I love me some Charizard. Who do we got?
It is the same Je ne pas, so
Je ne mange pas de porc, which translates to I don't eat pork in French.
good to know. So we are in round number 2 of our top cut here, up against something with Petrant. Let's see, I didn't take a look.
Webballs. Oh, this is a player, our Austrian player playing the
Cloth,
Cloth
yes.
Terapagos. This matchup, much more favored for Charizard compared to the Regidrago. Very simple one. If Zard's able to set up, he wins.
The speed test for the crab, yeah.
That's pretty much it. And we do see double Poffin in hand. I don't know what the rest of the hand is looking like, but you probably can't complain with this.
I played a decent amount of Cloth back in the day before back in the days of Miraidon and Roaring Moon, where we had the curry to get the one
Oh,
shot on the Charizard, but now without it. We do have the Mochi kind of makes up for it a little bit here, but
ooh, instant charge giving 2 candies, but just missing one crucial piece. If he has an out to a Pidgeot or a Charizard here, we're in good shape. But yeah, now the Curry no longer in the deck. So you do have that tech of the Electrode with the super effective glasses. We do see one copy in the deck of the super effective glasses. It is a counter to Zard. I don't think it's a great
yeah.
one.
You usually
You're
end up
still trading
losing two
two for
prizes,
two.
yeah.
Exactly. You are trading 2 for 2. So it's a good one if you're able to get the lead. But the problem with the glasses is you are only able to take one KO on a Charizard because you
Yeah.
only play one copy.
It does at least get the KO with the poison in between, so turning off
Yeah.
flipping the script is always nice.
Flip the script and unfair stamp, which is
Yes.
a big one. Unfair stamp plus collapse stadium, or in this case, area zero, not area zero, sorry, Pokemon League headquarters. That does a lot of damage to Cloth because Cloth is not a deck that's known for its engine, right? It's kind of a little bricky at times. Plays like 20 Pokemon and a bunch of tools and 4 stadiums. So it's a bit tricky at times to get set up. And kind of struggles against unfair stamp, but thankfully has almost like that built-in unfair stamp proof
Yeah.
uh, of killing between turns.
We did see
Oh, what a top deck!
crazy.
That's gross.
The Cloth player had a nice turn. They Luminion for Arvin for the trolley to get all these Pokemon set up, and we were able to find the capsules so that we could get the knockout with the poison from the Petrarunt. But yeah, that top deck Ultra Ball gonna give the Charizard player everything they want here.
Yep. The only thing is this Peckrunt is a 1-prizer, so you need a way to gust on that. The gust a 2-prizer on the bench. But would you look at that? Counter catcher sitting pretty in hand.
You can't ask for more.
And the Iono on top of that, I realized he did that all without a supporter. So playing down his entire hand, Gonna get the Iono.
It's turns like these that make everybody realize just how strong Charizard is and will continue to be, right?
Dude, I love this deck so much. This is my baby. I've made 2 day 2s in my life, and both of them have been with this deck. So I just love to see Charizard strive. And getting the kill on the Oranguru again, like I mentioned, Cloth struggles to kind of draw out of certain things, except for when it has Oranguru and Sealstone still active. Sealstone wasn't used on the first turn, but the Oranguru is going to get knocked out.
And the league headquarters can be really rough here too.
Yeah, I think the question here is, do you play it right away to make the Cloth opponent's next turn a little harder, or do you wait until you bump Area 0 with it and maybe potentially stamp?
I feel like already this knockout is detrimental enough, but
I agree with you. I think I would hold on to the league headquarters because here, the Cloth player kind of needs to get Area 0 down to do anything meaningful. I guess could attack with the Cloth on a Rotom.
They are going to commit to the headquarters anyway. So headquarters and knocking out this Oranguru for 2 prizes. It makes the attack much harder here. This double turbo on the Trap Ghost is no longer enough. They need 3 energy to attack with that Unified Beatdown.
I think the easier option, though, is just getting rid of that stadium. 4 copies of Area 0. It's one of the most crucial cards in your deck, right? Allows you to have 8 bench Pokemon instead of 5 if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, which benefits both players here, actually, since Charizard is a Terra. But mostly in the deck to be able to fit all these guys on your bench, all this support. There it is. Also buffing the damage of Unified Beatdown. The Electrode gets benched.
It's the only thing that can knock out this Charizard this turn, right? So.
Yep, and the glasses, so we do see the full combo coming into effect. We still need. Oh no, we have the Sneasler.
Yeah.
So
300 damage from a Tantrum Blast, and then the 30 from Poison afterwards.
There you go. So if you don't know what Tantrum Blast does, because Electrode V is not a common card, 100 times the amount of special conditions that are on your Electrode. So that is 100 times 2 because of weakness, but times 3 because of the super effective glasses, so 300. Then the Radiant Sneasler Poison. So again, no Unfair Stamp, no Fez, but that's fine. We have Arven, we have Candy, we have Ultra Ball. We don't need an Ultra Ball. We have the Charizard in our hand.
Yeah.
If he has another Fire Energy, I think he can just set up Checkmate right here, right now. Wait, I think he can win the game this turn. If he has Dusknoir, he needs Dusknoir, Candy, and Briar. No, I think he's missing a piece. Yeah, he's missing 1 piece.
Yeah.
From being able to win. But I think you can still set up Checkmate by just yeah, you quick search for the Rod here. Rod back the Radzard and some Fire Energies. Grab the Radzard with the Ultra Ball. Arven grabs Candy. And then you're able to set up both this Charizard EX and the Radzard on the bench. Have your 2 attackers for the rest of the game. And that's how you're getting your 4 prizes.
It is really close. If the Petron had a little bit less health, you could just go for the Dusclops instead, but
yeah, just like 2 more ticks of poison and game would have been over here.
We are going to see that Radiant Charizard instead being set up, ready to go for a follow-up turn.
Yeah, and no way to KO this Zardiex. No way to take 2 prizes with something that doesn't immediately die to the Zardiex, so I think this is just checkmate. Showing, once again, mastery of the Zard deck. I think he has been playing Zard for a while. Our first seed, and this is Swift game 1, showing just how strong Charizard is. What a crazy deck. Using the Star Alchemy too.
What else do we need?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's not even sure. Stamp. Sadly, can't use it this turn because you did die from poison. Nope. Did you just realize that? Yeah. Maybe just using it to hold on to next turn. Trying.
It's a fine thing to have in hand.
Yeah, the cloth does not play vacuum though, so you could have just kept it attached to your Rotom. I think this game is probably just wrapped up anyways. 2 fire energies in hand, so you do have the pivot in case the cloth wants to buy a turn. Don't really see much of a way that the cloth player can win this.
And this is kind of despite the cloth player having almost the ideal turn 1, or their first turn. It's just that the Charizard had so much set up.
You know what's better than an ideal cloth turn 1? An ideal Zard turn 2, as we see the scoop from the cloth player, realizing there's nothing I can do. You have your attackers right there. All you gotta do is announce Combustion Blast. You should be able to win this game. We're gonna see game 2. Who started that first game? I believe it was the Zard, right?
Zard went first, so cloth could attack the
Yeah. We could see a donk, which is honestly the scariest part about this matchup as Zard, is you play a lot of those low HP basics. Got the 3 Charmanders, the 2 Pidgey, the 2 Duskull. If you start any one of them and no other basics, you could just lose the game on the spot without being able to play a single card.
Do we think the cloth player wants to go first in that case, just to have that option?
I don't know. I mean, let's see what the pick was. Yeah, okay, so the pick was going first. I think I like it. I'll be honest, I'm biased because I think Cloth is kind of a bad deck, and I'm kind of a Charizard fanboy. But I feel like the only chance Cloth has in this matchup really is just hoping that the Zard doesn't have a great setup, and hoping that you get a donk.
One mulligan, we only have the 1 Pidgey.
Does he get it? Let's see. We don't have access to seeing what the Cloth's hand is, but surely with an extra card,
opens
starting
the
Pekka.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god. So literally all we need here is Brute Bonnet and an Ancient Booster Capsule, right? Okay, that's... Wait, so starting the Terrapagos Area 0? Show me the trolley. Oh, the pass! The pass! I thought we were going to see it all, and speaking of it all, what in God's name is this hand? You have Candy, Pidgeot, Zard, Buddy Poffin. You got everything you need.
Or Sealstone too.
Sealstone. The only thing you're missing is like Rotom here, but honestly, you don't mind because you have everything you could possibly need. Just gonna take a quick look at the deck, see what's in there.
And Cloth is not exactly a deck that you're worried about INO every turn, so
yeah.
More likely we'll see an Arven for Trolley.
Exactly. His list does play 2 Iono though, which I think is 1 Iono more than the Cloth list, but we're not even seeing that. We're just gonna see a pass right over to the Zard, showing why maybe playing a deck with 20 Pokemon and 15 tools, not the best. I'm exaggerating.
Not even a supporter in those 7 cards is really rough.
That is true. Quick search. What's the grab? Is it just gonna be a Candy? Maybe an Illuminion for Arven for Candy, just to be able to use the Sealstone to grab more Pokemon, but like, probably not. I think you're not really under threat of anything. You could just take this KO.
Yeah, we're so far ahead here, it feels like.
In theory, though, all it takes is like a top deck Trolley, or we're attacking with Blustery Wind.
Funny idea.
I think that's a much better play, actually. Because I was gonna say, to KO this Zard, he would just need the Tantrum Blast and then the mushroom. What's his name?
Brute Bonnet.
Brute Bonnet.
Yeah.
And the glasses, yeah. Here, forcing him to have all the Pokemon on his bench, the Area 0, all of that stuff, which the Area 0 is going to be even harder to get as we Blustery Wind away the stadium. So I really like this.
And even that, it's not enough damage, right?
I believe he does 290 with the poison.
Really?
220, 260 with the Mochi, and then 3 off the poison.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Did I do that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is asking for a lot, obviously.
Arvin gonna grab, or sorry, Ultra Ball grabbing us Luminion. Luminion, assuming, is going to grab Arvin.
Ultra Ball might as well grab Arvin here, right?
We also see this Clothless playing 2 Luminion. That's interesting. Do they all play 2 Luminion? I think most of them play 1.
Yeah.
So he is going heavier supporter counts for extra consistency, but sadly not coming up in this game. Although if he can pull off this KO, I think this is really big. Because the hand's not looking great.
We don't have a V
this...
Pokemon to use the Seal Stone with.
Yeah.
We'd be losing access to Quick Search.
So like it would just be like draw bench Charmander attack. Which honestly isn't even bad. But then like you're hoping to top deck Candizard. Okay, that looked silly.
The whole squad, yep.
I think you even got caught off guard there.
Precious Trolley just saying fill your bench rather than take up to 5 Pokemon is nuts.
That's what a crazy combo with that Area 0 and Terrapagos coming out like
one
set apart.
They knew
right?
what they were doing. Yeah.
See the Seal Stone for the DT. Does he have it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, we need the.
Does he have the Ancient?
Yep, they got it.
He got it. Ooh, so I mean,
it gets scary here. This is scary.
Yeah. Creative play, but we are going to see the punish. Also, if a top deck nest ball happens, no access to Pheasantipity because you do die between turns. I'd love to see like a counter catcher on the Electrode. I'd love to see a lot of things here, but not really many options when your hand is looking like that. Thornton? We got Pidgey, but we already got one. Yep, it's just a smack, which I mean, you're not too upset about this. It just comes down to do you have glasses now, I think. Which he has a Rangaroo and Latias on the board, so he does as long as they're not prized.
Rotom Super Rod. That is a V Pokemon to use for a Seal Stone.
Yep, that is a candy that gets you there. No Ionos used yet. You do have... Oh, you do not have Forest Seal Stone anymore. Forest Seal Stone was used. Backorder grabbing a Mochi. Do we not have the glasses in deck? Or maybe they're in hand.
The Mochi gets us really close. No, they have the glasses in hand.
Yeah, we're just going to take this KO. Are we going to see an Iono? DT onto the Terrapagos. No Iono? Oh, wait, maybe still. No Iono. Honestly,
but the backup Terrapagos is still a scary attacker. We know we have Mochi in hand. We have a full bench still.
But does the Terrapagos matter? Because if the Terrapagos attacks into this... Now I'm thinking, how do you get your last 2 prizes as... Oh, because he has to bench the Rotom. So you're just going to need a Gust, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he could Thornton into a Char... If he Thorntons it into a Charmander after using the Seal Stone, I think that's check. I think that's checkmate. Because there's no way to KO another Zard. I think he top-decked the perfect pieces out of this. Because he has the Rod to recycle the fires, too.
Well, doesn't Gust on Pidgeot still gets us there, right?
But there's no Pidgeot, it's just a Pidgey, so...
I suppose you don't have to go into it, yeah.
Yeah, the Cloth only just needs to take 2 prizes, right? So you just don't fill up your bench with another 2 prizer to take. Does he see the line? Playing the Super Rod, thinking about it. Definitely going to want some fire energies here.
The graph of just like who's winning in this game has gone, it's a roller coaster spiking, you know, like
we see the Candy Zard. Come on, just throwing it away. Show me 4 games of just Charizard dominance. I'm down. Now placing this fire energy is a little tricky, this third fire, because you do let yourself get boss stalled here. But
There's
I
our
don't know if that really
Thornton.
helps. There's a Thornton, so he does see the play.
Burning Darkness, knock out this Electrode.
Now, what's your answer if you're the Cloth? I think that's check. I think he's just debating benching this Duskull. I don't think it ever really matters. We're gonna bench it anyways. Get it out of the hand. Get it out of the deck in case I get Ionode. That is crazy.
I think
He
the
had
boss
everything he
stall
needed.
has to happen here. That's the only
Oh, but we
way
get a
to even have a
fire.
chance. Oh no.
And like even if we boss stall, what happens after?
You boss stall and use Cruel Arrow with Pheasantipity over 2 turns.
Oh my god! But you can't snipe the Zard, right? Oh
It
no,
would
but you
be-
can kill the other
yeah.
little guys. I mean, that was a line.
Open the script. We're looking at a lot of cards in our hand, but none of them say that we're going to take 2 prizes this turn. Electrode with Mochi is close to knocking out a Charizard, but it is not quite there.
I'm trying to see the list. See, yeah, because this Mochi
This
does
will be
140 to
280
80.
damage plus 30 from poison is only 310. If they have the jungle, which some people play, then it's
They
just
do
enough.
not. Oh, Kieran!
Whoa!
Wait! Wait! He had Kieran! Oh, there you go. We both
340
completely
damage.
missed that. Dude, I was literally looking. I said, let me look at the list to see if there's something he can do. Stared at the Kieran on my second monitor and just didn't think about it.
Kieran's
Forgot
just a
what that
switch,
card.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a switch. But yep, that's an answer. And that was a crazy game. You mentioned like 30 seconds ago about this roller coaster of like who's gonna win.
Swinging
That is
back and forth. Yeah.
that had us going back and forth. That was a much more entertaining game than the last one. And I think the blustery wind play, it all came down to that, right? Because
Yeah.
if you had the Pidgeot every turn, much would have been a much different game.
Anytime you're allowing your bird to be in danger like that, it's always scary, right?
It's scary. I mean, it was a calculated risk because,
there's not a lot that can punish it, certainly.
yeah, and I mean, the Cloth just passing 2 times in your face, it's really tempting to just say, you know what, his hand's dead, let me go for it, right? But sometimes a top deck Ultra Ball is all you need, right? Ultra Ball, Luminion grabs the whole deck, play down all your tools.
Yep.
And the Zard player opting first doesn't want to tempt fate with the donk again. And only starting 1 basic too, so good choice.
Now, PJ in chat was asking about what other decks are in cut. We've seen this Charizard doing very well. On the other side, we have our Chaladon has made it to top 4.
Oh, to top 4 already. Steamrolling through his opponents.
We have 1 Ancient Box waiting for a Gardevoir to meet them in top 8.
Reggie Drago was able to take it over Terrapagos in the top 16. Other side of top 16, 1-1 right now. Reggie Gigas, Ancient Wisdom versus Arcaludon.
Matchup that no one's ready for.
Gardymir is at 1-1 in the top 16. So we've got a good mix. Hopefully next round we can see what the Reggies are about. I love me some Reggies.
But here in our game, this is a very nice turn 1 for a Charizard player. Once again, seems to always find the Poffins and the Rotom.
Instant charge. Ooh, not a great hand. So we're looking at potentially not, for the first time in these last 5 games or whatever, just having a crazy turn 2.
Finds a Brute Bonnet from a Heavy Ball on the other side. Into the
Swamp
Arven for
Beast.
Trolley, so we're going to see a lot here from Cloth.
When I see my opponent grabbing Trolley, the only question on my mind is, do you have the Area 0 first? Okay, it does not. No, only able to grab 5 Pokemon instead of 8. Unfortunate.
Still a perfect 5 here. It looks like we're going to get into the Pecharunt for the turn 1 knockout.
Yep. Pekarunt, a way to switch, Brute Bonnet, and an Ancient Booster, all you need. Which, all of that is got off of 1 Arven for Trolley and Ancient Booster.
We're even able to do this, not that the 10 damage has mattered before, but we're able to do this without Pecharunt being poisoned themselves.
Oh, pretty good, yeah. I mean, we mentioned it earlier, but the poison, him being poisoned himself, actually could have came up a few games ago, right? Because if he ticks back and forth, takes 3 ticks of damage, Dusclops can take a KO instead of Dusknoir.
It's going to be bench a
See?
Charmander instant charge again. That one was a little bit better.
Yeah, there you go. Candy Pidgeot, Ultra Ball, much, much better.
But being 2 prizes ahead, is it going to be enough for Cloth here? We find the Area 0 this turn, so we get to fill up the bench even more. Energy Lotto missing. They do need the double turbo energy.
They can just go for another Pekarunt attack here, though. Go up 2, and then the question becomes, can you whiff a Briar 4-prize turn? If you can, then you just win this game. Go on a simple 2-2-2. Again, no unfair stamp. No unfair stamp triggered because we died between turns. And most importantly, this hand is missing 1 piece. It's missing a Gust to be able to take 2 prizes here.
Second Pidgeot doesn't help.
Never mind, we have it. I forgot about Quick Search for Arven. Quick Search for Arven, Counter Catcher, Sealstone. As long as Sealstone is in the deck.
And Counter Catcher. How many Counter Catchers do we have?
2.
Okay.
I believe. Should be 2. Yep, it's 2. If you're not playing 2 Counter Catchers in your Zard deck, what are you doing? Maybe playing Prime Catcher, actually. We are seeing the Rod gonna grab back double Mander and a Fire Energy. Poffing up those Manders. Maybe another Duskull? Nope, just more Manders.
Bench full of shiny Pokemon here.
Love me that shiny Charmander.
It's been interesting to see the evolution of which Charmanders are played in this deck across rotations here.
Yeah, it was... We've actually almost seen them all. The only one that we haven't seen is the Pokemon Go one. But it really depends on the meta. And now, if, like, Dusknoir... I keep calling him Dusknoir. If Dragapult is popular, you can't really play the Heat Tackle, although it does have the best attack. So it is interesting.
Here's our quick search.
Are we seeing the Arven? Is the Seal... Oh, the Sealstone's not in the deck.
Okay, it makes things harder.
That is incredibly detrimental. Still gonna grab the Arven anyways? Oh wait, wait. Even with the Sealstone, we
won't be able to get Counter Catcher this way.
Yeah, but even if the Sealstone was in deck, did we have it? Yeah, because you grab Candy, and then Sealstone for.
Yeah.
Oh no, what? Yeah, we had the Ultra Ball. Okay, yeah, I'm confused myself. Because this would have just been Candy Counter Catcher, but the funny Sealstone is always prized when we need it.
Does mean we are going to be able to attack at the very least this turn, although it's only 1 prize.
Taking 1 prize here is fine, because you do always have some Briar shenanigans, some Dusclops. Always able to do at least a 4 prize turn. But is that going to be enough? I think you had to take a 2 this turn. So now it's on the Cloth player to get his side of the... What am I trying to say? It's up to him to get his his stuff going.
They do need to hit everything as well.
Are we going for a Blustery Wind again?
All right. Rolling the dice once more. It did not work out very well the first time. Okay, yeah, we were swapping. But that's an option for a future turn, perhaps.
Yeah, especially because now you do have to take a 1 prizer. Because you're going down to 1, right? The only thing I don't love about that
The 120 doesn't do a
is
whole lot against a lot of the
exactly.
Pokemon.
Like if I'm the Claw player here, I'm not trying to bench another Packarunt, or I'm not trying to bench even a Cloth.
And we keep
Or
calling this the
Iron
Cloth
Bundle.
deck. We haven't even seen a single one yet.
Nah, that's true. We haven't even seen this. Oh, a single one hit the board. Honestly, this is more of a Terrapagos deck, if anything.
I think it could be a Brute Bonnet deck. It's really the
You know,
powerhouse.
you know what? Yeah, I'll give that up. I'll give that up.
What makes everything happen?
Ultra Ball here, Luminion gonna be the target. I kind of, honestly, the more I'm watching this game go on, the more I love this double Luminion.
Yeah. You need it every game almost. You need to find these supporters.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this list, this is like a pretty standard Cloth list, but I do really like a lot of the counts. Like the second Iono, the second Luminion. The one inclusion that I've seen floating around that's for the Zard matchup is, instead of playing the glasses, you play Cobalion, the one that says
Yes.
do 30 more to dark types. Your basic Pokemon do 30 more to dark types, which is interesting for two reasons. One, it's a Pokemon, which is relatively easier to search out compared to a tool. And two, it means you can KO multiple Charizards.
As long as you
Which
have
would have
multiple
came in.
Mochis, which you do.
Yeah, exactly. But the downside is you die from Tantrum Blast and not the poison, so Fez and Stamp do get unlocked. But I think it's a worthwhile trade.
Once
But I
again, we
also
do
guess
see the 300
Garen
damage from the Tantrum Blast here to knock out the Charizard with the poison. They found what they needed.
found what they needed. Now, what's the answer? Is it a Radzard here? Not really able to get the Radzard because all of our fires are on this Pidgeot.
Mm-hmm.
Nest Ball, not going to be any draw.
Iono's
Iono,
nice. That is good.
that's very good. Maybe we get the Radzard. If we're able to counter catch or kill this Fez plus Iono, could be in good shape. Defiance Band Pidgeot.
I guess that's
That's
150.
crazy.
That could knock out a couple things.
That's crazy.
Mine's Rare Candy Charizard. But we need the fires, as we said.
Are they all in the... He's got one. He's got one left. Unless it's prized. We do have one fire. Do we smack this with Radzard? Are we counter catcher killing the Sneasler?
It's hard to decide what the best target here is.
The fire is in the deck, so you can just KO this active Electrode with Radzard. I don't hate that, but the Cloth deck does play 3 Boss's Orders. Don't believe any have been used or discarded.
And then just Boss and Rotom is the game.
Yep. Of course, another Luminion as well, so Ultra Ball is an out to game here.
I suppose
then
if you're losing to Boss anyway, do we just want to get the Charizard ready to go? Like, search for Super Rod, set up Charizard?
We could, but I think attacking with the... I think it's better to attack with the Radzard. Oh wait, no, I see what you mean. You Rod and then you Candy Zard, so you have the Zard set up and Infernal Rain accelerate the energy onto Radzard. You're right. I think I would have preferred that. Yeah, because now his next Quick Search is almost guaranteed to be Super Rod.
And both ways you lose to Boss. Like, that's... You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I agree with your play. Weird scenario. If you are Je ne mange pas de porc, facing elimination if he loses this game. Nice.
It's going to be a Combustion Blast. We're knocking out the Electrode. It is weak to fire, of course.
A little overkill.
500 damage, huge.
Calm down, Zard. 2 cards off the prizes here.
Promote the Terrapagos. Are one of these 3 cards Boss's Orders?
Does have flipped the script. Seeing 3 more Is it an Ultra Ball? Is it a boss?
Mochi. Boss. Yep.
There it
Okay.
is. Is that it? 3, 6, 9, 12,
Oh, yeah.
15, 18. Yep. Plus the Mochi. Well, 18, 16, then 200 with the Mochi. 230 with the poison. And that is game. Congrats to Weballs. Taking it 2-1 in my favorite set of the day so far.
Yeah. Super back and forth game, too. And we didn't see a single cloth, but the cloth deck moves on.
And I am excited because I don't know if you saw the chat, but our next match looks like it's a Reggie showdown. And I'm
Ooh.
not saying Reggie Drago mirror, although both decks do have Reggie Drago in it. It is Reggie's versus Reggie Drago.
All right, let's see if we can grab this match here. This has been a great top 16 so far. I'm very happy with how this is turning out.
Yep, I'm just gonna pull up both lists just to see what we got.
And if you're just joining us, this is the top 16 of the EU wave of late night 231. We have the NA wave later on tonight, which will be casted by our good friends Koopa and Ubel. So tune in for that if you want some more Pokemon. But we do have a few more matches here in our top 16 here.
Yep, it's gonna be some good ones. I've just been talking about how much I want to see Reggie's, and I think I'm getting it. Are we getting it?
Let's see. I have a match. I'm waiting to see the draw here. Let's see. All right, let's hop in.
This is Reggie Drago, and I believe off of that username that I see on the top left, Julian Bachman, that is the Reggie's player. Reggie's a deck that has fallen off quite hard since it was first since it was first played in like the Silver Tempest format. Was kind of like a dark horse that did really good into Lugia V-Star. Now kind of rogue meme deck status, but it's kind of got its place in the meta, I won't lie, especially in these online tournaments.
Yeah, with the introduction of Area Zero, it is much easier to fulfill the bench requirements of our Regigigas.
So if you are a player that used to play when the Reggies were around, you're just coming back to the game, you're like, wait, Regigigas, why is it back? Why does the Regigigas player have a Squawkabilly? He's gonna be bench locked. No, because the Area Zero allows you to have more bench Pokemon and allows you to get a lot more creative with deck building. Because Ancient Wisdom reads, once during your turn, if you have Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regieleki, and Regidrago in play, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. It does not say one of your Reggies, it says one of your Pokemon. So this deck uses the Terra Pikachu to get the Area Zero requirement to have all of those Pokemon in play, and you just use Regigigas to attack with Pikachu EX every turn, which a lot of decks can't deal with.
A big
So
300 damage, knocks out most things.
300 damage, and most importantly, that ability Resolute Heart, making it not able to be one-shot, which gives a lot of decks trouble. And again, we're seeing Area Zero Trolley in this deck. So
Something we'll see more and more of, I feel.
very good combo. But against the dark horse of the format of the last 6 months, Regidrago V-Star, the big Papa Reggie. What can I say about Regidrago V-Star? If you've been paying attention to the meta, you know what this deck does.
It's really living out the last of its lifespan to the fullest, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it didn't take an expert to know that that card was broken. We just didn't have good ways to set it up or good dragons, really. And then they were like, how about Ogerpon and Dragapult in the same set? And that's when Regidrago really came to light in Twilight Masquerade, getting a big buff in Shrouded Fable with the Kyurem. I think Kyurem is maybe something that we're going to see a lot of. Maybe you can go for some multi-prize KOs with like double Kyurem plus an Iono.
Mm-hmm.
This Reggie's deck is pretty susceptible to Hand Disruption. It does play a lot of Pokemon, a lot of energies, so it's a little bit of a brick, but still got some ways to draw out of it. 4 Cypher's Maniac, 2 Research, and 2 Dragon's Horde Regidrago.
Starting off with concealed cards. We are getting 2 of those different energies in the discard where they can be pulled out by Regigigas. Finds the Area Zero. We do have a Squawk ability still active for the turn.
Yeah, so this deck does play 3 switch cart to be able to get this Squawk out of the active. Oh, 1 switch cart hitting the bin. Basically here we're just looking for a Pikachu and we're looking for a Trolley, specifically in that order. If we do that, I think we might just be able to have the attack here.
Yeah.
But we also probably want a Gust. Oh, we do have Iron Bundle in this deck. Iron Bundle would be
Huge.
fantastic in
Yeah.
this scenario.
Take any one of those 2 prizers, doesn't really matter which.
Also, one very, very key card in this matchup is going to be that Canceling Cologne from Regidrago V-Star. As I mentioned earlier, you cannot KO Pikachu EX in one shot if it's at full HP, but you can turn off the ability with Canceling Cologne. And I can see if Canceling Cologne is prized, I can low-key see Regigigas running away with the game.
Or we might see the Swinging Fiend can also get through the ability.
That is a very good point. That is a very good point.
Just knocks out a basic Pokemon.
But then the problem with that is if you do flip tails and if there's no other 2 prizes on the bench, you're kind of just taking a 1 and now you might lose the prize trade. But we'll see. I think this matchup often comes down to can Regigigas set up, and we're seeing the Ciphers potentially grabbing Area 0, Pikachu, and Trolley, a mix of those 2 cards.
We're
Of
going to
those
have to
3
cipher
cards.
into Squawk here, though.
Yeah,
These
but
other cards in hand are not. I mean, yeah, if you have Trolley.
Oh wait, the Area 0's in play, so he can just put Trolley, Pikachu, draw into those, bench the Pikachu, Trolley for the rest. The only thing is the Trolley prize
Or shoes.
shoeing.
Shoe into Trolley? Shoe into Pikachu?
Is the Trolley in hand? Let's find out. Is Julian taking his time to make sure this turn goes exactly as he wants it, not rushing into things. Now he's got to think, how do I get this last card that's on the top
Oh,
of my
so
deck?
the second. I mean, we can Squawk ability still.
Yeah. Gonna attach.
Here we go. So we're going to get the second card from the Cypher Maniac and then plus whatever else is in these other 5 cards.
Oh.
Seems like a lot of Dragos. We might not even need the Trolley.
I think that just by the way he's not slamming down this Trolley, I do believe the Trolley's prized.
So in that case, what was our second Cypher Maniac card? One was the Pikachu.
Maybe just
one of the Dragos that we didn't have, yeah. Or one of the Regis that we didn't have, rather. I keep saying Drago like it's the only Reggie that matters, but this one has all of them.
I mean, if you've been playing Pokemon, like I said recently, you've got Regidrago on your mind.
So we do retreat into the Regidrago. Another Earthen Vessel.
We're just gonna see a fail search. If you don't know, this guy's ability is once during your turn, if he's in the active, you can draw up to 4. Got a pretty decent attack too, 160 for Grass, Fire, Colorless. So we do see one singular Fire Energy in the list to be able to attack with him.
They did fail the Earthen Vessel. We're going to Nest Ball one other Reggie, perhaps. Or one of the support. We have a couple slots for support Pokemon with these full 8 spaces on the bench, but there he is, the Regigigas himself.
Dragon's Horde.
Regice.
Benching a Regice.
We need Rock and Steel. Bill.
Shoes keeping it. Either that was a research for next turn, or I think that was another Reggie. Still thinking about it. This has been a long turn 1, but turn 1's the most important turn when you're playing Reggies, so I get it.
Not the ideal crazy start here. Obviously, we're missing the Trolley is like the big thing that takes this Reggies over the top.
Yeah, I mean, we would have almost guaranteed an attack on this first turn with the Reggies. But honestly, if I'm the Drago player, this is not too easy to respond to, right? Like, you do have Egg as an option. It is hitting the discard. So you can just go 50-50 chance I take a prize here. You can also just Phantom Dive 1 damage counter onto the Pikachu.
Yeah.
I think actually you would want to put 4 damage counters to be able to play around that switch card.
Triple
Oh
energy switch.
no,
No V-Star though.
V-Star. Oh, that's gotta sting. Because this is another turn of just grasping draw. It looks like grasping draw for 1.
Do we ever spend the E switches here to like move the 2 grass?
I think you
Draw more.
use 1, so you can draw 1. But do you want to? No, you could put it on the other Drago actually. Yeah, I think you might just want to use 2. You could even do some funky stuff where you like waste an E switch by switching it to Squawk and then switching it somewhere else. But I don't love that.
Another
I would have
choice would
actually.
have been to both grass on the other Drago so that they're both 1 attachment away.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I do think I like that, especially because you do have both a fire energy and a grass energy in hand. So whichever one does get knocked out.
Or
Oh,
dragon lasering. Oh, huge actually.
but the Dragon Laser cannot hit the Pikachu. Don't forget.
But
Don't
it
do
does
it.
get a
Don't do
knockout. Yeah, they're thinking.
Oh, I think he caught himself.
It is damaged from an attack, so it would have been blocked by the Terra shield.
Okay, we're putting on the Greninja. I like that. Putting it into Kyurem range, most importantly. It's as if he heard me because I saw his mouse hovering over that Pikachu. I was like,
Yeah.
no, he's a Terra. Dude, that happens to like I've seen the best players try to bench or try to hit a bench Terra. You're not the only one.
Yep.
So now we're going to need 2 more Reggies as this rock hits the field.
Maniac could get us there.
That's a stretcher and an S-ball, but does he have the draw? Oh, with the energy, right? Surely.
We did fail the Earthen Vessel. I don't know if we have an energy. We'll see.
That is true.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh, it's
no.
just a S. What is going on? Iono. Ah, this is another scenario where like I don't want to Iono you.
Don't want to, yeah.
Going from a 2-card hand to a 6-card hand, and his top 2 are really good, but what are your options as the Draco player?
Another Dragon Laser isn't the worst here. You're shutting off the ability.
You are
You're
shutting
moving
off
a
the
little
ability.
bit more damage somewhere.
You can set up another 30 on a Reggie to set up some more Kira math. Which I like that. That sounds pretty good, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're able to just like Kieran plus Iono late game, like an Iono to 2, I mean, we're seeing this Reggie deck not have a lot of draw power, right? So could get something big late game, but you are susceptible to a big combo from this Gigas. You know that the top 2 cards of his deck are good. He plays the Iono.
So we're looking for the V-Star this turn instead.
Oh, he almost whiffed it. He almost whiffed it by 1 card. These discards, though, not
you don't
easy.
need the Temple, right? So that's an easy one.
The Temple is kind of nice to hold in hand to get rid of the Area 0, but I mean, yeah, it is kind of an easy decision, right? He would just get rid of the Squawk, which removes the 2 prize liability. More importantly, makes using Egg a little bit harder.
This would be a great egg turn. Because either if you hit
Yeah.
active or benched. Okay, they're going to bounce it.
Not if you Sinnoh. So now Egg, not as good of an option. Because surely it's just getting rid of the Squawk, right?
This does, at the very least, lock them out of the Regigigas for now until they find another Area 0.
Yep.
So they can't attack, really, until they find that.
I wonder... I mean, we could also just rip the Egg. If we kill the Pikachu, it's really hard to come back from. Just because you need the Pikachu, you need the Area 0, you need all the other Reggies.
We don't have a lot of other dragons,
V-Star.
actually. Okay. Mine's the Gudra.
We're seeing a V-Star. That tells me he wants Dragapult pretty bad, but I think he whiffs it. Yep, only an E-Switch in hand, so I mean...
You could have gotten back like Vessel or Ultra Ball if you really want Dragapult, but...
Did he have enough cards to discard, though? Because then he would have...
Vessel the E-Switch, yes. Oh no, because then you can't discard it. No, you're right.
Yeah.
All right,
What is it going to
here's
be?
the attack.
Gudra? Yep, we're going to see a roll in iron,
Okay.
putting the Pikachu at 1 HP left, which is just a Dragon Laser away. Dragon Laser, sorry, Phantom Dive.
Mhm.
No Dragon Laser. You cannot Dragon Laser a Pikachu on the bench.
Now the Reggie's player has to find Area 0, like we said. Otherwise, there's nothing happening here.
Drago player is down 2 rods and a lot of grass energies, but got the Drago V already charged up on the bench. He plays... Wait, does he play 2 fire or 3 fire? Because this could just be a boss stall angle.
Sealed cards.
He plays the 3, so he is fine. But he's got to be very careful with his energies.
Professor's research, we really need to... Oh, they threw away an Area 0.
Oh, that's...
Finds the second one, I guess. What?
That's fine. Never punished.
What?
I think that might have just been a brain fart. But he is going to need to find a lot stretcher. Most importantly, since a Reggie Drago is... Both Reggie Dragos are in the discard.
S-Ball finds us our steal.
Stretcher's all he needs.
By the pause, I don't know if he found it.
Sometimes the pause is telling.
Single attachment, we're going to retreat into something we don't care about.
I don't like this retreat at all. Because this just makes it so easy to just announce Phantom Dive.
Well, we need to find it, obviously,
here.
but yeah. We do have it
Well, I
in
mean,
hand.
you know he has it, right? Because you know he Legacy Starred for Ultra Ball
Right,
Research.
okay, sure.
Oh, I don't like this retreat. I mean, he had the Prime Catcher anyways, but now he gets to keep it. The Cologne, the Prime, this is looking like a very, very good spot for Reggie Drago V-Star here. 2 Reggie Drago V-Stars charged up. You're taking a 3-prize turn.
We just set up a Kyurem for next turn. We take 3 prizes this turn. You set up the rest of the damage so that you can Kyurem 2 things.
Yeah, I think you... Well, no, because you just need to take 2, right? So
oh, right. So it's even easier, yeah.
Was there a way to do this that doesn't lose the switch card? Because how many switch cards is he down is the question. His list does play 3.
There's at least 1 from early. There's 2 gone.
2 down. Okay, yeah, so this does guarantee the win, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see game 1 to Reggie Drago. The Reggies didn't quite get there. It was because they're missing Trolley. Okay, game 2, we get Trolley. We attack turn 1, we go crazy.
That is true, because, I mean, a Pikachu attack with a bundle there, which would have been possible with Trolley, would have been crazy. It would have been a completely different game, because it's kind of one of those things. he almost queued up a game alive. But it just would have been a completely different game, because once Reggie's gets set up, it's a train, right? Like, it just doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to just put a second Pikachu on your bench, all you got to do to attack it once your Pikachu goes down is promote it, say Ancient Wisdom, and there you go.
Yeah, one of the best uses of the attack from Pikachu. We've seen a couple decks try to use it. There's Lost Box that can actually attack with the Pikachu, but this allows you every single turn, back to back to back.
Yeah, I've also seen like some funky Miraidon lists with some Magneton shenanigans with like 1 grass, 1 lightning, but those are mostly Miraidon with some sauce. It's not really a Pikachu deck. I'm curious, does Reggie's go first or second?
I feel like they would want to go second just to have Arvin Trolley.
But they don't play Trolley. They don't play Arvin, sorry.
Oh.
Just the Cypher and the Research. He did opt to go second.
Mm-hmm.
So you are right.
I guess Cypher is essentially an Arvin, right?
Cypher and Squawk. Reggie Rockstar.
It's one of the Reggies we need.
And if I'm looking at this hand as Reggie Drago V-Star, I'm like, well, I have a 2-prizer stuck in my active, and it's most likely going to sit there, especially because Squawk is prized.
Yikes.
So we're not squawking away this hand. So that's a big opportunity for Regis to just, if they have it all. The question is the hand full of switch cards and stretchers and unplayable cards? Or do you have Area Zero, Nest Ball, Trolley?
We do have the canceling clone. Important to note. We have the Prem Catcher.
The 2 stadium bumps
All
for
of
the
the
Area
energy.
Zero as well. What is prized here?
Probably some
4E
Pokemon.
switch. We are going to see the Vessel just to thin out some cards before using the Steel Dance. Gets rid of the boss. I think that's a totally fine decision. You are most likely going to research it away next turn.
Steel Dance leads to Jamming Tower. Not a lot of help yet.
This is a huge opportunity. Only one Drago V, and it's sitting right there in the active spot, begging to be Topaz bolted.
Do we get there? I want to see it one time.
I want to see it too. It's a tough ask, but it's doable. Nothing's getting played yet. Julian taking his time, making sure that he sequences this properly. Like I said earlier, I mean, you got one turn to do a bunch of actions. Make sure you do it correctly, right? Seeing Nest Ball, it's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Is it for Squawk? Is it for Pikachu? It's for a Reggie. Radiant Greninja. You got a lot of options here. 16 basics in the deck.
Yeah, let me take a look at this list while we're searching.
I
through.
also seen some builds with Joltik and Galvantula, which I thought Galvantula was going to be much better than it was. I was hoping that card was going to be good.
Yeah.
But that was even more clunky because you had to evolve into your Terra Pokemon to get set up. So you had to wait a turn. This at least has some like pretty scary turn 1 potential.
Nest Ball for Squawkabilly. Trying to get through more of this deck to find the cards we need. Cypher Maniac is a great way to get at least 2 of them.
So the big 3 cards we're looking for here is Area Zero, Pikachu, and Trolley. So as long as he's got one of those in hand, we should be good. Well, hopefully not Trolley.
Yeah.
But outside of that, in any order, you just want those 3. Becomes a weird call if you only have 2 of those. I guess you grab the Trolley in the Area Zero and hope you draw into Pikachu, because Pikachu you have the most outs to in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Being 2 Pikachus, 4 Nest, Heavy Ball, kind of.
Choice has been made. We're going to switch into Squawkabilly.
I like that. The 1 retreat Pokemon, so you can just attach retreat.
2
2 stretchers down.
And Iron Bundle.
The 2 stretchers are going to hurt.
The 1 energy in the discard being water also isn't the best. Here's our Trolley. No Area Zero.
Though. Yep. So we're not getting the max value out of it. We are getting 4 Pokemon, though. Definitely nothing to complain about.
Kind of depends on what our other cards here, too. But we expect Pikachu and some Reggies. Maybe it's the Greninja if we drew an energy. But we need to find Area Zero, which we don't have in hand yet, as we can see from this Trolley plate.
Or he has it, but no Pikachu. Nope. Well, the Pikachu comes down because of the Trolley.
Okay.
The Area Zero. So yeah, we didn't
So
have
it was
the Pikachu.
that order. Yeah.
Oh, do we have the... Oh, we have
the whole squad.
Do we have the energies?
We don't have the we don't have the right energies in the discard to attack yet.
We're seeing Ancient Wisdom for retreat into Dragon's Horde. Okay, so this does lock us into only attacking with Regidrago unless we hit like Vessel. Vessel's the only way to discard cards.
Well,
so
we've already used our Ancient Wisdom, so we can't even attack
that's
this
true.
turn.
Yep. You are actually able to use Ancient Wisdom multiple times per turn if you have multiple Regigigas, but
Yeah.
not with this board.
But we're setting up the energy in a place where we can Topaz Bolt next turn. It gives Regidrago kind of a free go at it here.
But I think even the Regidrago V-Star player took note that there are 2 stretchers in the discard pile, which means if you just target this Regidrago, he can no longer attack. You just got to kill it 2 more times.
Now
So
we do have the right colors of energy in our discard pile. 1 lightning, 1 metal, 1 grass.
The metal getting pre-attached to the Pikachu. And the egg.
Not a bad draw.
Especially when you're considering this hand is getting researched. Oh, both stadiums? That's slightly annoying. I'm not going to have access to more stadium bumps unless you do V-Star for it, but it's not a great V-Star target.
These discards are kind of annoying as the Reggie's player, actually.
Squawk is an easy one. But then what? Squawk, Regice, and Regirock.
So now that Reggie Ice is the target for cutting off the Regigigas. Reading the attack. I don't think they can attack with just the 1 water in the deck, but good to know what it does.
They play. They have 1 water in the discard, but I believe they play 3 water energies.
I'm misreading. Oh yeah, there was the 1 fire. Okay.
He's reading
so
that.
Having the option to attack with Moonlight Shuriken then.
But most importantly, that Regice is actually maybe pretty strong in this matchup. If you don't know what it does, for anybody watching, it reads, if the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon V, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So
Right.
if the Regidrago V-Star player is not careful with his switches and his prime catchers, he can actually get locked out of the game here.
But it's time to get rolling with Regidrago V-Star here. Winging's Fiend, do we hit the Pikachu? Tails means, okay, so just heads, knock out the Regidrago.
A Kopf. I don't know what language that is, but...
I believe it's in German. At least the active language is German here.
Ogre pawn off the prizes. Pretty good hand. This hand is going to be a research probably next turn, which is going to get your dragons in discard. More options to attack. So this is a big opportunity for Regigigas. Just again, going to need a lot of stuff to get going. Going to need the Area 0. And then we need Drago, Stretcher. Or, sorry. Drago,
Drago,
Rock,
nice.
Ice.
And Ice. Oh yeah, Rock too. Oh, it needs so much.
Dude, so many Reggies.
If only we could have attacked with the Pikachu last turn. We just didn't quite have the right energy.
We're just going to see a research. Okay, well, that makes sense. Just a bunch of energies in hand. Not opting to concealed first. Now we see the Regidrago V-Star player take account of the Pokemon that he has. That win con of just running him out of Pokemon is or out of a specific Reggie is a very big deal. We used to see certain back then, certain counters to Regigigas was to play Lost City and just Lost City 2 of the same guy. Just make sure that Ancient Wisdom gets turned off for the rest of the game, and then you're just fighting a pile. What is the play going to be?
This feels like we're fighting so far uphill as the Reggies now.
He was 8-2 up to this point. So he had a lot of good matches, probably some close ones. But, I mean, the deck for sure was functioning all day. Just unfortunate that near the end, top 8, the deck's just kind of falling apart.
Reading the Pikachu again, we might see an electromagnetic sonar if we have another energy, but you're kind of spending 1 Reggie to get another Reggie. It's like, does it help that much? I don't know.
We're seeing the electromagnetic sonar take a trainer, put it into your hand from your discard pile. What is the grab, anyways? Is it a
Research.
research, a stretcher, a vessel? That's really good. Gonna have more draw power, more teal dances.
And getting the Dragon Bolt in the discard so we can perhaps Phantom Dive, put some damage counters on the Pikachu, set up for a big turn in the following up turns here.
Getting the grass energy too off the other teal dance means we can teal dance again, see another card of grass energy. It's not gonna help us too much.
I mean, this is just perfect from our Drago player. Still has V-Star power even. They don't need it yet, but
Yeah, the V-Star power is the strongest when you get to hold it till the very end of the game, because it basically just says take whatever pieces from your discard that you need to win the game to close it out. Almost like quick search, but from your discard. And you don't care about discarding the top 7 if you're ending the game that turn, right? We also, I just noticed the Regigigas list does not play any hand disrupt, which means the Drago player can just play accordingly and always know that he's going to hold his hand.
yeah.
Thinning the deck out of all of the potential dragon attackers. The only one we don't have in here is Kiram. Going to the hand instead, just counting his resources. 3 E-switches still left in deck. So even if this Drago V-Star goes down, I think we're looking pretty good to set up another one.
Which I don't know if it's even possible for the active to get knocked out.
I mean, if he can hit the area 0, all 6 Reggies, the Pika in the active. But it's looking tough. Only 2 Reggies are going to be on the board after this attack. We're debating here which attack. Which one would you go for here?
I think it has to be Phantom Dive, but
I agree. I like the Phantom Dive. Put some damage counters on the Pikachu. I think I would go 4 on the Pikachu, 2 on the Greninja.
mm,
We're seeing a Rolling Iron instead.
okay. This does, I suppose, even if they are able to get the Pikachu ready, it's not going to knock out the V-Star here.
Yeah, he would need Bundle or Boss, and I don't know if Boss is discarded, but that's another piece. And we know that he has Research in hand because of the electromagnetic sonar, so the Boss is unlikely. So I do really like this play.
Finds Area 0, finds Regice, Regieleki. Missing Rock and Drago.
There's a
Nestball
nest.
gets one of them. I love how Nestball is still called Nestball in German. That's really good.
They just took out the space. Just one word now. Alright, Steel and Gigas hit in the bin. This is a lot. There's the rock, okay. There's a lot of Reggies that are in the discard for so little. Well, I mean, he's still got 2 stretchers left. I think the Rolling Iron play makes a lot of sense once you consider the fact that Cologne is still in our Regidrago V-Star player's deck. So he always does have the option to go through this Pikachu and then just keep up trading. Especially no V-Star used, he can win in 2 attacks. Just Cologne, then you V-Star it back, Cologne. Stretcher for bundle. He actually had it.
Okay.
So we see our first Topaz Bolt of this game.
Might be the only one, but we'll get one at least.
The next attack shouldn't be too tough to get off, as long as you got your second Pikachu EX or a Stretcher. But then Stretcher, you lose to boss KOing one of your Reggies. So it is not a great spot.
But we take 2 prizes with a Topaz Bolt. That's kind of the goal here.
His deck is doing what it's supposed to do.
Is that Cologne they're looking for?
Even circling with the mouse, like this is the target. I like the Nest Ball for Cleffa here. Not only does it thin out your deck, also makes you bundle proof, draws into the Cologne 2, and the E-Switch and Rod to be able to get more grass energies to almost guarantee that we're attacking the next turn if this Regidrago does get knocked out. Although, if you just
you can Rolling Iron
this,
again, yeah.
yeah. Now you're bundle proof.
Right.
They got to hit the one boss that they play in their deck, which I'm not sure if it's discarded or not.
I'm glad that Hisuian Gudra
Is.
has made its way back into this deck. I was sad
mean,
when people were cutting it back a few sets ago.
Dude, if you think about it, Regidrago is just like such a powerful deck because Gudra is its own deck, Dragapult is its own deck, Giratina is its own deck. All these cards are good enough to just be the star of their own show, and
You get to just do it yourself.
Yeah, Drago gets to play all of them.
They did go for the
Wait.
Phantom Dive. They're setting up a Kyurem sweep on the next turn.
That's amazing, especially because now you have to discard 3 Pokemon. No, two. Discard 2 Pokemon because your only Terra Pokemon has been knocked out, so Area 0 is no longer in effect.
Now they can just discard the ones with damage on them to shut off the Kyurem play, but even then, it's pretty rough. They chose the right Regis to put the damage on. As we see, the Regice and the Regidrago are the ones that are limited. Isn't that the other one is in the discard?
Oh, so if he does that, then he just loses.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's only got...
You do the Greninja in one of them, so you can Night Stretcher the other one. Oh no, because we don't have Pikachu. Well,
he plays 2 Pikachus.
Yeah,
I don't know if both Pikachu are in the discard, though. Even then, I mean, if you attack with Pikachu, it's guaranteed game, right? Because you V-Star for Grass Cologne.
Yeah.
This is tough. Does our Regigigas player here have some sort of out that I'm not thinking about? It could be leave a 1 prize board, attack with Regigigas or Regice, but I don't think that wins you the game because you got just Prime, then V-Star Prime. Is it... Can't stall anything and go for like a multiple Moonlight Shurikens. Everything's got either an energy or
Free retreat.
Free retreat.
Yeah.
Or just Regidrago V-Star for Prime Catcher. I think at the end of the day, this is just a similar situation to what we saw in our previous set, where when you have an ability that just says, go get a card, sets up for some pretty crazy checkmates. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Just a case of the Regis not quite hitting their stride when they need to early game, and late game is Regidrago's playground, it feels like.
We're going to Ciphers. Using Dragon's Horde, so we're getting something. Oh, is the last Pikachu prized?
Yep.
It was. But still, you need the ice. And a switch cart.
Stretcher gets us the ice.
That is our last Night Stretcher, meaning just a KO on Regice here basically wins us the game.
Here's our Regigigas ability. Does have the switch cart.
We have the last switch cart.
We get an attack here.
But yeah, this should be easy. Just V-Star for Grass Cologne should be it. Even an E-Switch. You don't even need to because you have Rod Vessel in hand. Pick your poison. How do you want to do this? What's the win combination? It's the Cologne. It's the Grass.
Simple and clean.
And that is, unless he misinputs, a 2-0. Yeah, just got to be careful. There you go.
You have to announce the correct attack. That's right.
Who would have thought? Big Papa Regidrago taking the dub. At the end of the day, there is a reason why that deck is the best deck in the format, and Regigigas doesn't see much play. But it is fun to see. Kind of wish it worked a little better than it did.
Yeah, it almost had the right showing, but
we had just missing a few pieces. Honestly, if the trolley wasn't prized in that first game,
could have been different. Yeah, that's right.
It could have been different because he had it all. He had it all, unless sure the trolley was prized.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're in top 4. So don't go anywhere. We have some more matches coming up. Welcome back, folks. We are in top 4. We're going to follow our German Drago player as the hero here. And we have an interesting matchup. I'm ready, excited to see.
I got my wishes last round with the Gigas. You get your wishes this round. Seeing the big old building.
I'm very curious about this. There's been some talk on Twitter lately about the matchup spread for Archaladon. And how it seems like it's better than perhaps it is. But the online results recently have it winning over Drago something like 60-40.
I mean, if you think about it, this matchup is a little tough because Drago does it all right. It's a toolbox deck. You got spread with Dragapult. You got 110 on 3 things. 280 is your big damage number with that Tina V Star. But Archaludon's just got really annoying numbers to deal with. 300 HP on the Archaludon EX means it's out of range of Giratina one-shotting it. 130, monstrous 130 on your baby basic, meaning it's out of range of Kyurem. So the numbers get pretty tricky. And two-shotting the Droudon or the Archaludon rather, isn't much of a play since you have that Relicanth able to use the attacks of your previous evolution. Raging Hammer on the Droudon says 80 plus 10 for every damage counter. So if you have 200 damage on the Archaludon, if you used Phantom Dive or Rolling Iron, it does exactly 280 to one-shot you. So pretty scary matchup. But let's see how this
Tough
goes.
math.
Yeah, the math, just in every way, the math doesn't work out great. Although I will say, in Drago's favor, is in this matchup. Oh, we see a scoop. Wait, what? Wait, the Drago player didn't have a Drago V down, and the Archaludon scooped. Was that a live bug?
Interesting.
Or are we just going into game 2?
Huh.
Did he just challenge the same guy? Did he have the right guy? Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say the Archaludon isn't playing the Dialga build, just playing the straight Archaludon build, but oh, he's offline now.
Yeah,
I think our Archaludon player. Ooh, what's the ruling gonna be?
Let's see.
If I'm the Drago player, I'm kind of happy that game was getting reset.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he had a V down. Yeah, we're gonna see him restart his game. Okay.
All right.
It does happen.
Yeah.
It's live. But we're gonna get that solved as soon as possible. Walk me through this matchup. What do you think is going to be the key plays? We talked about Drago having a little bit of a tough time with the numbers, but if you're the Drago player, of course, you're still playing the BDIF. You still have a chance to win. What are you looking for?
I'm not sure yet. Is why I'm curious to watch. I have not played Archaludon, but I'm interested in it. So anytime to see how things shake out is exciting to me.
It's gonna be. I mean, Regigigas, or sorry, I got Regigigas on the brain, but Regidrago does have a lot of options. I'm thinking maybe just go after, because this build plays the Lumineon and the Squawk, and go after those. Rolling Iron's probably pretty good, but the Archaludon is playing 4 boss and bundle, so maybe not. Radzard does one-shot the Archaludon if it hasn't attacked.
Here we go. We're getting back into the game.
All right, we're back. I wonder what the ruling was on if that was if we're just gonna reset or if we're gonna.
Yeah, take a look and see what happens.
So the Drago player opted to go second, which makes, and this is definitely a matchup where you want to go first.
So it's probably a game 2 then.
So I believe this is a game 2 that is a little unfortunate if you're the Archaludon. But it is a favorable matchup for you. You can maybe squeeze something out. In case you're just tuning in, we are in top 4 of late night 231. We got Archaludon versus Regidrago. On the other side of the bracket, we have Webballs the Cloth waiting to play the winner of Gardevoir versus Ancient Box.
Typically Gardevoir favorite.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting one though. Nest Ball. Probably gonna get another Duraludon.
Either way though, it's an interesting top 4. We have 4 unique decks.
You love to see it. Alright, seeing concealed cards pass, so no energy on the board. Does he play a switch? If not, he is not able to attack next turn unless he uses his Ace Spec Scoop of Cyclone or Professor Turos. since you are going to have to attach one energy to either your Duraludon or your Relicanth to retreat. Now, first Ultra Ball going to be played, discarding a Grass and a Goodra, I believe. What's the grab? Is it a Teal Dance to be able to Teal? Is it a Teal Mask to be able to Teal Dance? Are we grabbing Squawk? The answer is yes.
We're going to use this Earthen Vessel. I guess we are. If we're restarting first.
Nest Ball. That's a pretty good grab.
So we can do one Teal Dance at the very least.
Oh. I think the debate here is, do I get a Teal Mask to see one more card and get a Grass Energy on the board, or do I grab the one prizer Cleffa? I think he's leaning towards the Cleffa. I think here, because of the Relicanth start, I would be a little greedy, and I think I would grab the Ogerpon. He is down one Turo as well, which means he only has 2 outs to getting an attack here. One of them being his ace spec. Yeah, I think we're sticking to the Ogerpon.
See what the one card is. This could... Okay, only gets the one grass. Leaving the energy in deck.
Watch this be Cleffa. No, okay.
Fire, I mean, that's worse almost.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. We do get an S-Ball though, so we have the Cleffa regardless. Yeah, and this is looking like a grasp and draw.
Only for 2, perhaps. You could bench the other Ogerpon and draw 3, but...
Yeah, I like not benching it here. Just leaving yourself with one Regidrago V is a little sketchy. Let's see how Archaludon can respond to this. Again, a little tough because you do have that Relicanth and you weren't able to attach for turn last turn. Whiffing the Pokegear as well.
That's not I know though, okay.
So we're playing, but we're not attacking this turn, I don't think. Well, we do have the option of Scuba Cyclone, but if I'm playing Archaludon, I'm not trying to use my Scoop Up Cyclone to just 220 a Cleffa.
Yeah.
Although I will say this Iona was pretty nice to our friend here playing Regidrago. As we get the Prime Catcher, we have Boss as well and Research. So we have options as well as Ultra Ball to find us a Regidrago V-Star.
Field cards. We have our first Archaludon as 2 metal. Not quite enough for that attack. It could attack with the 1 metal energy on the...
It could attack with Hammer In. That is a very good point.
You're getting a knockout, I suppose.
I think we're going for it. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
It's not all is lost here.
Is this worth? Actually, I kind of like this because I just realized chances are you might have to go 1-1-2-2 anyways because of the Radzard, but we're opting to not go for the Hammer In. Also respectable option because freeing up that bench spot for potentially another Teal Mask, a Fez, a Drago V. Also activating Fez, not great, right? I like this retreat as well because it means that your Relicanth is safe, so you don't have to waste a stretcher. And this forces a tricky spot if you're our Regidrago V-Star player here, because if you do smack into this Archaludon, like I mentioned earlier, he starts hitting for 280. Not sure what to do, running down the time, using every possible second he has here. Ultra Ball away, Boss switch. Oh, Boss Grass.
Thinking
Boss
about
switch.
it.
Dragapult. We could also Prime Catcher the Squawk and put 2 on the Archaludon, the Duraludon, and the Greninja. Spreading 2 is really good because not only does it put the Duraludon at 110, making a Kyurem attack viable, it also puts him at 280 if he evolves, which makes it possible to Lost Impact.
I think they're going to go after the Duraludon instead. All of this, of course, hinges on finding the Reggie Drago V-Star, which we didn't from that research.
That's unfortunate. I wonder why we didn't restart before. Maybe there was just too many cards that he was scared to have to research away. Unfortunately, whiffing though.
We could E-switch attack with Mir. No, it's not even enough. I don't know what we're doing here. Dragon Laser, I suppose.
Dragon Laser's tough.
It kind of
here.
does the same thing. It kind of okay. Going into the Cleffa.
But if you put your Reggie Drago V at
being at
risk,
the only V, yeah.
This is scary if he is able to gust up this Reggie Drago V, but this Archaludon does have a 2 retreat, so it is not the easiest thing to get out of the active. Not sure how many metals are in the discard either, because he could just power it up.
Yeah, there's at least 2. There were 3 the first turn. We concealed a second one.
If there's at least 2, it should be good. We do see the Hyper Blower. That's a free 2 prizer. Of course, if you could, you would go after the Reggie Drago V, but you'll take a 2 prize.
Yeah, you'll take some prizes finally.
Beggars can't be choosers, right? We see the Night Stretcher.
Gets an energy back. We're going to conceal it, I think.
Nope, attach. Do we have the Archaludon? Oh, we're researching, hoping to hit an Archaludon. I think our odds are pretty high, right? There you go.
All right. Pulls out the other 2 energy, gets this one ready to attack. Now you have these 2 300 health threats.
This is pretty tough.
The line of text about removing your weakness also matters here.
It is very, very big since Radzard does hit him for weakness. That's a really cool effect for an attack. I don't think I've seen another card have that. But it's a pretty unique effect. And it is pretty clutch just because of Radzard's such a good Pokemon in 2 of the best decks in the game right now. So now what is the play going to be? I'm really curious. Are we going for a Rolling Iron? Are we trying to egg the Squawk? That doesn't sound great. Because I don't think it could be a Phantom Dive. The Relicanth is right there. Yep, we do have the boss. Oh, but the tricky thing here is like you can Phantom Dive, set up the math onto Duraludons, but you don't have another Drago V down. But it also doesn't die, right?
Yeah, you're not getting return KO'd.
That's pretty good. So we are seeing the Phantom Dive.
You do have to think about where the damage is going here.
I like this math. So the Drago survives. If I'm the Archaludon player here, I'm just looking for double gust. Finish this game as soon as possible.
Ten cards in hand, it feels like we're going to find one.
Surely, right? We also still have not used Fez. Fez is in the deck, 1 Nest Ball used. Oh! 3 Nest Balls in the discard
Yep,
now as we
3
Ultra Ball
used.
2 away. Sure, this is grabbing a Fez or maybe even a Luminion for boss.
It's a little scary, but it would obviously guarantee the 2 prizes right now.
I wonder if you could also just take it slow and hit into this Draco. No, but then if he's able to just set up another one, you lose. So yeah, it is going to be Ultra Ball Luminion for boss.
It puts us just 1 boss away from winning.
If I'm the Drago player here, I am not using Iono because the logic says he had to Luminion for boss, he doesn't have a boss in hand. You can almost guarantee that he does not have a boss in hand. So using Iono would just bring him closer to his next boss. But it is 8 cards.
Yeah.
Now that I say that, I am looking at that hand of 8 cards.
It could be prized. You took 2 prizes.
Yep. I mean, he could have Nest Ball for Fez in hand to see more cards.
Ripping the V-Star.
It is a tricky call.
Get back Ultra Ball Prime Catcher.
Does he see something that I don't? Why are we ripping this V-Star here? Seems
He needed to get the Giratina into the discard.
Oh, and so we probably are Ionoing in that case. I guess Reds are bossing the other Duraludon doesn't help since Gust is his win con anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Attach an extra fire,
Sure.
get that Lost Impact, making Lost Impact not feel as bad.
We brought all this energy back into the deck.
We are ripping the Iono.
Yeah, setting them to 2.
I think now that I was speaking out loud, I think the Iono is still probably correct. But the silver lining, if you are Matt here, is that your boss is technically closer to the top of the deck.
Yeah.
He does also need a Metal Energy.
Or a third Archaludon would pull it out, but
that is true. Sand Temple of Sinnoh.
Not sure that matters, but playing it to get it out of the hand.
Weird call, but I think it's actually unoptimal to use it since we see our Caledon player here has 4 Jamming Tower in his list. So like forcing him to not be able to thin out a card out of his hand, but he doesn't play Mew.
Yeah, you're like trading 1 for 1, I guess.
Yeah. I think it would matter more if the Archaludon player was playing Mew, but he isn't, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
There was the Lost Impact to knock out that first Archaludon, and this Regidrago V-Star still able to attack. We had enough energy on the bench. The question is, do we find boss or not? Yeah.
Has the energy, opting to not conceal, has the boss. Dude, he was waiting. He didn't. Dude, usually when like my opponent's waiting, I'm like, oh, it's because he doesn't have game. He's thinking about his turn, right? But nope, had it anyways. I think he was just maybe taking a second to confirm everything was good. I have the boss 220, and we see game 2 going to the Archaludon. I am really excited to see this game 3. I want to see if I want to get a nail biter set after the unfortunate game 1.
Okay, looking at the bracket online, actually, it feels like the first one was just a remake.
Oh,
because
maybe.
That was, it now says it's 1-0 in favor of Archaludon.
Okay. I would hope that it was a remake, just to make it, because it feels bad to win on a technicality, you know? Also, I want to note this Archaludon player has not dropped a game all of top 8 or top 16, just 2-0ing his way here.
There's a part of my excitement on Archaludon is looking forward to rotation and trying to think about what decks will rise out of, you know, all of these cards being missing. So seeing this version of Archaludon without the Dialgas, which will be gone, still doing well, I mean, it's pretty exciting for me going forward, I think.
Yeah, for sure, because you have to assume that the power level is going to be slightly lower when rotation drops, because we're losing so many powerful cards, right? I mean, of course, we have yet to see, like, I think we have probably seen like 25% of the new set, of the Journey Together set. So who knows, they could print some super busted cards. But I mean, if this deck is able to compete when the power level is this high, it's probably going to be pretty good when you know, a lot of cards lose a lot of their deck. And I'm looking at this list. It is almost entirely all gray borders. It loses 2 cards, Lumineon and Radiant Greninja.
Yeah.
Most lists don't even play Lumineon, so I think Greninja is really the only one that it'll miss. Right, so we see 1 mulligan get awarded to the Archaludon.
Double Duraludon, you're feeling real good.
Yup, in this hand, not the best, but it's definitely workable. You've got an energy to attach, you've got an S-Ball, you've got an Ultra Ball, and you've got Squawk. It's all you kind of need.
Getting the Goodra in the discard early is kind of nice.
Are we getting another dragon, or are we just opting to grab a Teal Dance? I think this is the debate.
I feel like the Phantom Dive is not, I mean, normally it is really important, but here it feels bad almost every time.
I think it's like only really good with a gust. Because he was able to get good use out of it when bossing up the Squawk, but I mean, if the Archaludon has a good enough hand that he's able to just not bench Squawk or Luminion, I agree with you. The Phantom Dive just doesn't seem great.
Still getting set up here. One teal dance rather. Has an E-switch to get the grass on the Regidrago.
Yep, you know you are safe for one turn at least, because he can't attack with anything that does more than 30 damage this turn. I think here you just probably hold this hand. If you get Ionoed, you don't mind too much. Kind of want to keep the Ultra Ball and the energies just to see more cards, right? That Ultra Ball can become a Mew-EX, that grass can become a Teal Dance. It can also just be straight up attached to the Regidrago V to fulfill that 3 energy requirement.
This ball for our own Squawkabilly here.
That's a juicy 2-prize target with less than 200 HP. That's the first thing that crosses through my mind if I'm the Regidrago. We're just getting all the Duraludons out.
Squawkabilly, a Turo and a Boss, and a Night Stretcher.
Turo is also a very, very big card in this matchup, because if the Regidrago goes for one of those plays like we saw in the previous game where he puts 2 damage counters on each Archaludon, Turo can just clean that up. And once you like Turo up an Archaludon fresh, set it up to 300 HP again, it can get a bit tricky.
And with the ability on Archaludon, it kind of replaces the energy. You just get it right back when you evolve it. So
it's so good. The fact that it takes the energy straight from the discard, unlike Charizard, it's very similar to Infernal Rain, where when you evolve you get energies, but this from the discard just makes it synergize so well with Turo.
There's a second boss into the discard for that Earthen Vessel. Palpating both back in. Okay, yep.
2 cards in hand, though. I can't imagine they're great if we're palpating first. He's trying to hit a boss. Maybe sequence that a little incorrectly, unless he's trying to hit a boss here, but I don't think so. We do see the hammer in on the Squawk. I don't know if that ever really matters, but if you got an energy, I guess you might as well smack, right?
Yeah, can we do a 130 damage only? I don't know.
I think, well, I mean, with this list, he's not playing the Dialga with Metal Blast, so it's really just Metal Defender 220 and the 2 Duraludon attacks, I guess. Alright, so Research was found off of a Teal Dance. Very, very good card to be able to fill up his hand.
And we're setting up energy where we need them to be.
Now, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe the switch was down in the first turn, correct? Or was that last game?
I don't recall.
Because switch is a very important card here. Gotta get this Squawk out of the active. You've used your manual attach onto the Drago V, so really that leaves you with 2 options. You can E-switch to it, or you can prime or slash switch. We see none of those 3, but we can dig. We got the Vessel, we got the Ogre Pawns. So we can see at least 2 more cards, assuming we have grass energies in the deck.
There should be a couple.
But that also does
we get
benchmark us.
in the discard as well.
Oh, only 1 grass. So we are seeing 1 card. We are able to thin out the fire at least.
Do we want to even?
I don't know.
It feels like you want to research. You don't want to Iono next turn.
Yeah.
None? Okay, neither.
None. So now the question is, how good are those 2 cards in Matt's hand? Because if one of them is a research, we're almost surely finding an Archaludon EX and we're attacking, right? So he is actually opting to go for the V-Star power. Doesn't find the Prime Catcher, so it looks like we're taking 1 if we're attacking here, but he did find an E-switch.
That has to be one of the choices.
Yeah, I think, is that 3 E-switch down or 2?
I think just 2, if I had to guess.
Regardless, too many E-switches
Oh,
in
it
the
is
discard.
3.
Oh,
It's
that's
3.
3. Oh, that's not great.
The
You do
second
know your...
choice feels bad. What do you
Is
pick?
it a second E-switch? It honestly might be, but then
It's so
you
hard to
don't have a...
use. Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
Drago.
But like, you know that your Regidrago V-Star is surviving for 1 turn. So you could have maybe just E-switched and then Ionoed it back into the deck. Because now you only have 1 more E-switch. Oh no, so you still could attack because you attach over 2 turns and then... Okay, let's see. This is setting up really good math though. Getting the first attack is huge, since now you're able to just go 2/2/2 on these Archaludons. Just 280, 280. And you have to assume that with a 2-card hand, your supportive return is going to be Researcher Iono. So there's no boss, no Turo this turn.
Meanwhile, these
So
3
this...
cards from the other side have to be something good to even keep playing. So
Yeah, exactly, right? It could just be complete nonsense. Could be like 2 jamming towers and a night stretcher.
nest
One of them's a
ball.
nest ball. We do
What do
play
you
the
get
Fed
though?
list,
Okay.
so surely that's the grab unless it is prized.
No fez.
Eesh. Yeah, this isn't great. Does have a
Boss's
boss, but this
orders.
might just be a desperation boss.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. It's a desperation boss. That 1 card in deck, or that 1 card in hand, is probably not great. Yeah, now you definitely want to research. I mean, after your opponent just passed in your face, that desperation boss did buy him a turn though, whiffing both switch and prime catcher. So it is going to be a pass back. We did successfully buy ourselves a turn.
But it's a 1 more card. We don't have a lot of draw power here.
Also, the problem is that now there's a 1 prizer stuck in the active, so you do need to find another boss if you want to take an effective KO. There's the switch.
We boss
They
the squawk here. Set up for a Kirim win next turn.
I like that actually. Threatening the Kirim on all 3 Duraludons. Opting to not go for it though, just going to take this KO. I mean, you can just do both, right? You're threatening to KO both Duraludons, which is almost just as good as... Well, you actually are still threatening game, because you could put 4 on Squawk, and then... Nope, you're
You
1
put
damage
all
counter short.
5, yeah.
Yeah, you would need to put 5. And oh, and then you could win with... It was a weird call, because you could put 5 on the Squawk and 1 on the other Duraludon, but that way if he evolves his Duraludon with 20, you can't Kirim it. This way, he has a kill guaranteed on both Duraludons, and that top deck was not great. So we are scooping. We are going to a game 3.
Back and forth.
So far, if our Caludon gets set up, it looks pretty strong, but looks like if it's just got a slow start, Regidrago is such an unoppressive deck, right? If
Yeah.
you're kind of sitting there doing nothing, it's gonna wipe your Pokemon away, even if your basics have a monstrous 130 HP.
You really cannot slip up against Regidrago.
Now, since the Archaludon did take game 1, he does have the advantage of starting, which is very, very big because you are both stage 1 decks trying to get to your stage 1 as fast as possible and attack before the other. And that can put a lot of pressure on the Drago V-Star player, especially if he starts a Drago V and can't get it out of the active on his first turn. They get stuck. Giving up 2 prizes is pretty detrimental, as we saw in the first game. We do start Mew, though.
Okay, yeah.
We're good.
I thought for a second it was just the Radiant Charizard.
Honestly, starting Radzard in that scenario wouldn't be the worst, but it's not the best.
And 1 mulligan from Archaludon.
Taking the mulligan, of course, in
Pretty
Teal
good one.
Mask.
Pretty good one.
Yep. Relicanth start again. We've seen this really hurt in game 1. Wasn't able to switch it out of the active. Wasn't able to get a turn 2 attack because of it. Let's see if he gets punished again. Vessel, that's good. That's at least an attach onto the fish.
And one in the discard. We want 4 total, right? That's the idea.
Okay, but we also want to bench Duraludon.
That does help, yeah.
We are not playing a Relicanth deck, so that is a little tough. Definitely not the start that you want, and definitely a sigh of relief here if you are Koho, our Regidrago player. Kojo. Koho? One of the two.
I would say Joe with the H, if I had to guess.
So now, if you are him, do you use this Ultra Ball to grab your Squawk ability? Or do you just use that, like, to not use the Iono because your opponent is breaking so bad? Or do you just say, you know what, you probably have a supporter in hand, I'm just gonna Iono you anyways?
Yeah, it feels like them missing the turn, like missing they're a turn behind because of Duraludon is already enough that you can Iono and still just play your game and get ahead. But
I agree, but we're seeing the Squawk away both Ionos and
yikes.
Rod. Oh my god, is he not gonna get a Draco V start down?
We have 2 more draws. We have Teal Dances, but
Are we playing the Battle of Mid? These Teal Dances gotta come in clutch, or else he can just blow this huge opportunity away.
that's not a V.
It's not what you want.
That's not a V.
Oh wait, but he hasn't supported. But this is also very ugly discard. Discarding away both your V stars when. Okay, he hit an S-ball.
Just barely. We are.
Oh
no,
wait,
it's
we just have game.
No, is it? Is it weak?
Oh,
it
wait,
has, and
he's
because
weak
of the
to
attach.
grass.
Because oh my gosh.
Oh, that's why. Okay, well he wasn't even. He didn't need a Regidrago V. He was trying to win the set on a donk on a Relicanth. The weakness didn't matter there. 120. For some reason, I just completely forgot that he can attack turn 1. Wasn't thinking about it, and there is the set. Kojo taking it 2-1 in a pretty anticlimactic ending,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Donk on a Relicanth might be the first time I've seen it.
I think that's the first time I've seen that as well. But still, amazing run from Slight here, able to go 9-3. Only losing to Guardy and Lost Box, which sound like pretty bad matchups, and able to go undefeated in the top 16 until now. So now our other side of top 4 is Cloth versus Guardy, which I have heard is Cloth's worst nightmare. So if I had to guess, it's going to be a Guardy versus Drago finals, but we'll have to see. Cloth can pull miracles out. I mean, Cloth just beat Zard, which I think is also another really tough matchup for it. So it's definitely not out of the picture.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of though, hold on. I think I can get us into this match for a little bit at least.
That would be perfect.
It's game number 2. Am I reading that correctly?
Let me refresh my page here, see if I'm able to. I see it says 0-0 here, but sometimes they don't update it right as they play.
Okay.
Once again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to Late Night Top Cut 231. Late Night 232 for the NA region just started. I think you can still maybe reg. Yeah, late registration is still open. If you want your shot at getting on to the next stream, top 16, probably going to be streamed there as well. Very fun. And you know what? At worst, it's good practice, right?
Yeah. There's some big regionals coming up, so.
Big regionals, and this is probably the closest thing to like regional practice you can get. It is still best of 1, but it's a lot more serious than just playing on the ladder, right? And we see maybe game 1, maybe game 2 of this set. Pretty good board on both sides. Looks like it is the Cloth player's turn as he bosses up a Kirlia, the only draw on board for Lily here.
This is game number 2. Guardy is up 1 game.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
We do see that
So we
knockout on the
do
Curlia.
see the knockout on the Curlia, but look at that pink card in Lily's hand. Unfair stamp. Plus, we should have the kill here, yep, with just Monkey Dory Guardy EX. Funny enough, in this matchup, you get to use one of the least used part of the Gardevoir EX deck, which is Miracle Force's text, which says it heals a special condition on the Gardevoir EX. Almost never used except against Cloth.
Heals all special conditions, right? In the case that you would
I
have
believe
multiple.
so. In the case that you would have multiple, yep.
You get hit by the laser, the dangerous laser.
I mean, Dangerous Laser has a limitless entry at Worlds, so who are we to make fun of Dangerous Laser?
I've got my copy lying around somewhere. I pulled one.
Got to keep it in case. In case. It's like, it's not the worst. It's pretty bad.
All right, here
But
we
like,
are with the unfair stamp. We have both monkeys now set up.
There's going to be a mean 60 damage flipped. Think about it this way. It's basically a Phantom Dive.
I saw a clip on Twitter today of someone playing 3 Monkey Dories. And just the opponent had hex hurled, so they did 90, and they just threw all 90 right back at the opponent.
Ow. Dude, Monkey Dory is a card that I think a lot of players saw. Oh, we're not attacking with the Guardy though. We're just gonna attack with the one prize Drifloon. That does make sense. But yeah, I mean, Monkey Dory is a card that at least when I saw it get revealed, I was like, all right, this card's okay. But man, was I wrong. It is a lot better than I thought it was.
It feels like people keep finding new good uses for it as well.
Yeah, like at first we saw it with people were talking about it playing with like in a Blissey deck, but then we're like, you can one shot the Blissey.
And with Frostlass,
Yeah, the Frostlass deck, damage yourself, flip it over. But I think it's found its home in Gardevoir. I think the craziest thing is like when I saw someone playing this, and I was like, dude, why are you playing Dark Energy in Gardevoir? I was like, you are reaching. But man, was I wrong.
Now we're up to 3 dark in this list.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see Lily's list here. Gardevoir is a deck that like the 60 is really not solved. Oh, we're passing into Iron Bundle with glasses just to let the poison tick away. I need to see someone draw art of Iron Bundle with the super effective glasses. Now, pretty simple turn here if we do have boss's orders left in the deck. I think we're just looking to find it off this one refinement. If we do, pretty easy KO on whatever we want. Oh, that's more draw with the Greninja.
More, yeah.
Oh, we're just opting Arvin though. Stretcher. Here, what's the play? Is there something I'm missing?
Setting up a Drifloon again?
Oh, we can just Scream Tail. We can just Scream Tail a 2-prizer. As long as she doesn't click on the Terapagos because of its Terra, we should have it. I, for some reason, completely forgot about Scream Tail. It's been a minute since I've played Guardy.
It seems like they have all the options always, you know?
Yeah, they always find a way. So I was about to say, I always get really curious because Guardy is a deck that the list isn't really set in stone, right? I feel like Charizard, everyone knows how to play Charizard. Drago, we know what to play in it. Guardy, on the other hand, some play 2 Charms, some play 1, some play none, some play 3 Monkey Dory, some play 1 Dark, some play 3.
Mm-hmm.
Lily opting to go for the slow Guardy build, but with 2 Bravey Charms. So we have the Unfair Stamp, we have 2 Monkey, 3 Dark. Fez, it's more of like a hybrid build, no candies. Usually I feel like if I see Fez, I can assume rare candy, but maybe not.
Mm-hmm. But that sets up for our finals here.
Oh, that's true. The Guardy player was up 1-0. So this is going to be a pretty good finals in what I consider to be a very important matchup in this meta. Gardevoir versus Regidrago. A matchup that at first Gardevoir players hated. I think they all kind of started figuring it out. I'd say it's closer to even probably slight Drago favored because you always can get board wiped, but the Guardy players figured it out. And I think especially with this slower build of Guardy, you can still do a lot of stuff. Monkey Dory flipping over Phantom Dive damage. Got the Fluttermane, got the Klefki. You have a lot of stuff you can do.
It feels like Gardevoir players always figure it out. You give them some time,
Yeah.
they'll come back stronger.
Gardevoir is a deck that just ever since it was released has always had a place in the meta. The deck lists have been very, very different, from Shining Arcana to Zacian V to now this Monkey Dory build. But I think Gardevoir will always have some sort of list that can do well. Probably even when Refinement rotates. I think Monkey Dory plus Gardevoir EX is a really, really good combo. It's definitely, the deck is going to be very different.
Yes.
But it's still going to find a place as it finds its place in finals of Late Night 231 against Regidrago.
And despite all of our fun decks, it's back to Guardy and Drago in the finals.
Yep. One huge card that I see in this Drago list is Jamming Tower, though. So Lily, with her 2 copies of Bravey Charm, has to be careful. Cannot go too crazy with a big Drifloon to blow up some Drago V-Stars, because yes, that is great. But just one Jamming Tower getting placed knocks out that Drifloon, then maybe able to take another 3 prizes with a Trifrost or something could be super detrimental. So I think the name of the game is just going to be Unfair Stamp. Trying to take it slow. Slow down the Drago maybe with a Klefki. Tails. Who goes first? So we are looking at this from Lily's perspective. Also, Lily Sim's a name that I recognize a lot from these online tournaments. She is no stranger to being at the top tables.
Lily Sims, and then our Kojo DeWitt, who I assume is from Germany, although the flag's not mentioned on their Limitless. Playing in German, at least.
Playing in German against Lily Sims from the United States. Let's get it going.
Starting Monkey Dory. You're okay with that?
We have a Buddy Poffin in hand. All good. All we need. Opponent's turn. Regidrago starting off with the Teal Mask.
Ball feels like this is going to be a good start for Drago.
Grabbing the Squawk. Not ideal. That is a free 2-prize KO with Screamtail. Most importantly, without using a Bravery Charm. So not susceptible to that Jamming Tower. But still, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And yep, that was a good Squawk hand. Dragapult and Tina hitting the bin.
And an E-Switch found. Yeah, it was a great start.
Yep. Now we just need an Earthen Vessel to be able to get a turn 1 attack. A V-Star would be nice as well, of course.
Although we just threw one away with that Squawk. We have a second grass? No.
Just gonna pass, but definitely can't complain about that start. Also can't complain about this start. No TM Evo though. So not the super ideal board. But we do have the double Poffin. So we're gonna be able to get Manaphy down, which is a very important inclusion from this Gardevoir list.
Another card that I feel like has that kind of sine wave of people cutting and then putting back in and then cutting.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the more it's played, the more it's countered and the less like Radiant Greninja we see. So then when it's not played, the more Greninja we see. I'm interested to see why Klefki was benched here though. It almost
we're retreating
like,
into it, right? And then it shuts off Teal Masks or Teal Dances.
But he doesn't necessarily need a Teal Dance, right? As long as he's got Switch, having the Klefki active just shuts off your own Manaphy, leaving you really susceptible to Trifrost.
It is the scary part.
Now the question is, do you retreat into this Klefki? Having the Bravery Charm on the Ralts does save you from Trifrost. So she is opting to go for the Klefki. If I'm Regidrago here, I'm looking for maybe Trifrost plus Jamming Tower. Would be pretty good. Or maybe I don't Trifrost at all. You don't want to leave yourself open to a stamp.
Yeah, it's always scary how early you use your first Trifrost because it can be tough to rebuild that energy. Oh, canceling Cologne lets us do our Teal Masks.
It does, but weird interaction canceling Cologne shuts off Klefki,
Turns
which
back on
shuts
Manaphy.
yeah, which turns back on Manaphy. But you Cologne, so now if you have Gust, you can Gust Trifrost the Manaphy. So weird interactions there. Let's see how this turn is played out. Gets the third energy attached to the Drago V-Star and the Jamming Tower. So this Iono just has to hit a V-Star. Oh no, but we can't Trifrost because now the
V-Star Prime
Manaphy is turned back
Catcher?
on. But I think even just a Phantom Dive here is pretty good because we also would need the Kyurem in the discard.
See what these 6 were from the INO. These energies on Lily's side are so pretty too. I've never seen these.
Oh yeah, these are the reprints I think from Generations.
There's the Kyurem.
Something like that. There's Kyurem. Gonna grab us a grass. There's one Teal Mask Ogre Pawn that we have not used yet.
We still need V-Star. We still need a Gust. Ideally Prime Catcher, I suppose.
Yeah, because we have researched. Or Ionon. So we cannot use Boss. There's the
There's
Prime!
both of them.
He hit it all. The Cologne to shut off the Klefki. Oh, wait.
Thinking about it.
I think she's just waiting to see, like, let me see if he doesn't troll his Trifrost targets. I always get so, like, greedy. I'm like, do I go for the Manaphy or do I not? Because, like, killing the Manaphy means you can Trifrost again, but I think you just have more value just getting rid of the Monkey Dory and the Ralts. Yep, and that is what we're seeing. And look at Lily's hand. Just, I mean, she's able to rebuild actually decently here because she has the TM Evo. No stamp, but I mean, you have the TM Evo, you have the Stretcher and the Artisan for 2 more Ralts. I don't think it's a concede just yet.
Definitely was thinking about it, but it's going to play it out for a little bit. I understand that just snap decision, though. They hit everything. Come on, like what?
Yeah, I mean, I would not be happy. That's one of those moments where, like, I'm throwing my hands up in the air and I'm just like, what the hell, man? And the stamp, that's a very, very big draw. We're going to stretch her back the Ralts. We have the Psychic and the TM Evo to attach onto this Manaphy here.
Stamp to 2.
Stamp to 2
Evo
cards.
To 2 Curlias. Not a bad rebuilding turn here.
Now, what is disgusting is if we're able to get double E-Switch. Oh, and the Counter Catcher. Okay, this is very, very strong. Now, what are these 2 cards? Because we still have Prime Cologne in the discard that we can use V-Star, because we have not used V-Star.
Mm-hmm.
So he would need double E-Switch and Fire Energy off of 2 cards to win this game this turn. It's a tough ask. Now, is this Research, Fire, double E-Switch? Or is it just a bunch of dragons you can't use? Artisan for Cleffa. And it's just going to be a Grasping Draw.
Sure, you got time.
Oh, never mind. A Research. Oh my god. Stamp is a lie.
Totally fair stamp.
That was a pretty decent stamp. It's funny too, because me and my friends always joke about if you Iono Regidrago to 2 specifically or stamp them, they always have Research without fail. I guess our theory stays true. Ultra Ball. Don't think leads to more draw unless we could thin out the hand here for Mew, but no, we're discarding the Mew instead. Maybe benching another Drago V, I like that.
We need to find some energy.
Even just a manual attach would be great here. Takes a lot of weight off of your E-switches. And now if I'm Lily, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. The fact that you're able to attack here, take this, potentially kill the Regidrago V-Star that would have energy on it. Just with one great counter catcher stamp and Evo was able to rebuild the board.
And he has the Gardevoir in hand, so at any point when they would like to start attacking or developing the board, they have access to that.
Mm-hmm. a lot of good draw power in hand. You've got the Iono, the Concealed, the Refinements. So you're at least seeing 6 cards from the draw on the board, 6 cards from the Iono if you choose to play it. I think we're probably going to see an Iono since we are going to most likely end this turn with a Grasping Draw for Kojo. Yep. Another TME though, it's just going to be some good old refinement fodder. Fez and Arvin drawn.
We are going to be attacking this turn. We've evolved into our Gardevoir EX.
I'm thinking here, what is the play? Gardevoir has so many options for attackers that it's hard for me to say. Oh, okay, Flutter, Ralts, and Drifloon prized, and a Charm.
The Charm is big, yeah.
So there's no more Charms left in the deck. Since we've used one on a Ralts in the early game. Wow, this makes this really interesting. I wonder what's the attack here, because you don't really want to put your Screamtail at 1 HP, because that kind of gives a free 2 prize here. You have no Monkey Dory, so no one-shotting a Regidrago V. Maybe you just kill the Squawk. You just take the 2 prizes.
Hope to get the Charm.
Yeah.
I think that's the only plan. Like, everything else feels just awful.
One thing I want to note is Lily is only playing 1 copy of Artisan and no Vacuum, no other stadium bumps, which means if Kojo's able to recycle the stadium using his V-Star, he can just say no more Brave Charm for the rest of the game, which means her damage is going to be capped out at 190 with no Monkey Dories.
Here we go. 2 prizes. Finds the Charm. That's pretty big.
Charm and Super Raw. Definitely some prizes. Some cards you want out of the prizes, right?
He switch number 1. Earth and Vessel. Find a Grass. All right, so we're attacking for sure.
Discarding the Rod, so we definitely have energy in the deck. Do we just have... we have game. We just have Boss Trifrost. All right. And there's the concession.
All right.
That is a crazy game 1. And that is why the Guardy players are not happy when their opponent flips over Regidrago V. Because that stuff can happen pretty easily. I mean, maybe potentially easily, but Kojo definitely made it look easy, just hitting the Prime and the Jamming Tower and the Trifrost, and just drawing pretty decently after the stamp. Able to take game 1 of our finals here. 1 more game, 6 more prizes to take, and he becomes the champion of Late Night 231.
Yeah, we know it is well documented how strong Moonlight Shuriken is against Gardevoir with only 2 knockouts, but what if we had 3? What if Trifrost?
What if we had 3? What if we had 3 and they knocked out a Monkey Dory?
Sounds pretty good.
Fez start.
Yikes.
A little less than ideal, but honestly, it's pretty okay. We got 3 Buddy Poffins, able to get the board set up.
Offense and Evo, if we're able to. We'll see. Actually, it's Gardevoir's choice whether first or second here.
So did opt for the first. I think this hand is really, really good because next turn you can actually Evo into Guardy EX, which saves you a little bit from the Trifrost. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Regidrago's V-Star's damage cap is 280, so your Gardevoir is not going down. And since we have no energy in hand here, I would like to see Lily not bench Klefki. We saw that Klefki do almost absolutely nothing for her except turn off her own Manaphy, which really, really hurt her in the long term.
Yeah, just double Poffin, get our Ralts all ready to go. We have Arvin indeed ready for next turn as well. See how much Drago can get set up. With the Squawk ability and the Nest Ball ult, seems like they're going to get pretty far here.
The Jamming Tower is going to be a pain. This means no TM Evo unless Lily finds her one of Artisan. And of course, with no search, just going to have to find it raw. Let's see, Iono, what is it going to give us?
Still has an Arvin. No Artisan, for sure.
We have seen no energies either, so you can almost guarantee that this Iono is going to make us see at
6
least a
energy.
Vessel or
Yeah.
energy. Yeah, no Vessel either. So we have 12 outs out of 41 cards minus 6. 35. 12 out of 35 odds to hit at least one energy. Which that energy can then become a concealed card. It can become a refinement fodder, it can become attach or treat.
Gojo
Most
really
importantly, though,
thinking about this nest ball. Doesn't even take anything.
maybe thought too long.
Attach to the Squawk ability, Squawk and Seize. Radiant Charizard and Temple of Sinnoh.
Honestly, he squawked away a lot of energies. We might see a motivate here, or it could be just good old grasping draw.
I kind of like the motivate.
You know your squawk is like, oh, it is a motivate. I love this. I love motivate. Such a cool attack. Plus, this 20 really matters, right? Putting Fez under that 200 threshold. This kind of forces Lily to Monkey Dory this damage off. We're Nest Ball and a Monkey. Does shuffle the deck, so now our odds of hitting an energy are slightly lower, but mostly here I think we're trying to hit the Artisan, an energy, and a TM Evo if possible.
It's 4 energy.
Well, I think I cursed her.
No Curlias.
Yeah, I think I might have cursed her a little bit. Seeing the retreat into the Monkey Dory.
Rough turn.
We both come from a background of Smash where we have this thing called a commentator's curse.
Our power has reached so far.
And I think we might have brought that here. This hand is definitely less than ideal, especially if we can get some Prime Catcher Cologne plays like in game 1. This was a fresh 6 cards.
Mine's the V-Star at least. It feels like it's very, very likely we're attacking this turn.
What dragons are in the discard, though? That's the big question.
There's Executor at the very least. I know that one.
Honestly, I don't even hate an Executor attack here. Like, I have seen worse.
Yeah. Mine's the fire, so might see it. Yeah,
we have a guaranteed attack.
The motivate is so nice because it saves the energy switches.
Yeah, which energy switch is really is a really valuable resource when you're playing this game of like I'm gonna get stamped, right? Nope, no super special Prime Cologne shenanigans. We're just going for an egg,
Gets
and we
the
get
Fezandipity.
Dude. Not only is the Fez a 2-prize KO here, it's also Lily's only out to seeing more cards here. This top deck better be good, or we might be looking at our late night winner, a Curlia.
Okay.
That is big. What is the refinement going to give us?
2 more Curlia coming up.
Less than ideal. We do have the counter catcher to play with. To potentially stall the squawk.
At the very least, that it's at the very, right now, it's only swinging Sphene. That's the only thing that can happen.
Yeah. Maybe attach here, set up for a Mind Bend if we get Trifrosted. And we are trying to stall the squawk. Ideally, I think Lily is praying that he's got nothing in hand and is forced to rip V-Star.
Well, V-Star will almost certainly see another dragon enter the discard.
Dragon, Cologne, Boss. All cards that you would not want to see played if you're Lily here. Gonna see the Ultra Ball that grabs us. Maybe a Mew EX for draw. Gudra hits the discard. Does it maybe grab us Kiram, Dragapult? Dragapult? Oh, we're seeing E-Switch. E-Switch is also an out that I forgot about. Oh, the boss. We're killing the Curlia. And now that puts Lily again in top deck mode. But I think we might see some more coin flips because this is looking like a pretty solid mind bend.
Mm-hmm.
We are also going to be able to flip some of the damage over. Nope, no damage. Just going for the Guja. So this
That's
mind
almost
bend actually
better,
is going
right?
to do
Yeah.
0. Yeah, I actually like that. Psychic energy does not help us here.
All right, mind bend for 0. Confusion, at least.
Oh boy. Where's the miracle force healing the special conditions when you need it?
Well, I
Uh-oh.
don't think works.
You have Prime, though. If you have Prime, and you're able to reset the confusion, you got the pivot with the Cleffa.
Research. Okay, we get
Research.
to look at 13 cards, right?
Ooh. 2 rods. Also, he had the Dragapult in hand, so of course he couldn't Phantom Dive. But getting rid of 2 rods is not great. Whiffs the Prime Catcher on the Legacy Star. I think that's definitely the card that he wanted to see. I don't know if he has Switch in the discard either.
I don't think so yet.
Wow, so that Legacy Star might have been just a big waste.
If Gardevoir is able to pull this around, it can do anything. This deck.
Yeah. Lily deserves this if she's able to win this. But that Legacy Star is actually such a tough decision because both rods were researched away. So, like, surely you have to grab a rod. And then I think we got rid of 2
Cologne.
E-switches. We're grabbing back Cologne Iono?
There's a Kyurem. Okay. We have a teal dance. We could still hit it, which is the crazy thing.
Are we banking on this teal dance? Don't tell me, Kojo. Surely he's got the prime in hand already, right? But if he does, then why is he Legacy Starring?
It's also not the worst to just rip the confusion flip.
Or attach it. Oh, we're flipping it?
Yeah, so just
We do hit the heads, but like...
You Phantom Dive, you take out the Monkey Dory. Or you can do...
Well,
yeah. Either way, I guess.
It's going to be a Dragapult. I like the Dragapult here, actually, because now the Monkey Dory is taken care of, so no flipping some damage. Putting 20 everywhere. I don't know how much... That turn, honestly, was a little greedy from Kojo, though, because you did waste the Legacy Star. Unfair Stamp would be a crazy
It
top
just
deck,
doesn't
but
matter.
we
It
have
just doesn't
nothing.
matter.
And that's game, and that is tournament. What a weird way to finish it. With Drago just hitting it all, board wiping the Guardy.
Yeah, when Drago's doing its thing, right?
It's the best deck in the format for a reason. 6 in the last top 8 of our American regional.
Yeah.
So, not a bad deck. Not a bad deck. But still, Lily Sims with a very, very good run. Second place with Gardevoir EX.
Second place with Gardevoir. Tied in our top 4 was also Cloth, Terapagos, and Archaludon. We've had a nice top cut here.
Yep. Very good tournament. Some good Pokemon played. There's going to be more Pokemon played in Late Night NA later today as well.
Yeah. So there's more Pokemon later on tonight on this very channel. If you want to see more of that. Dara, any ending words? I've been so glad to have you on the cast here for the first time.
It's been really fun. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's down below there. I post mostly TCG related stuff, random stuff, Zard guides, random TCG fun stuff. Follow TSS late night events, always great events. Please play in them, actually. Support your locals, support online tournaments.
You heard him. Yeah. That's the goal. All right. That's it for us for 231. It's in the books. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you for being here.
See you guys.